Man, we don't want much. We just want what belongs to us. Man, we ain't greedy, we hustlers, nigga. Butch.
Cassette.
Yo, welcome back. Return of the Mac. M.A.C. Moss Andrew Carr back in the building, episode 223.
What it is.
What's happening, fellas?
What up? Oh, shit, man. Nothing.
Y'all going ahead and go at it.
No, I don't
Y'all going ahead and go at it
anymore. He talking about he gonna flame me. I'm just saying, this nigga look like we gotta break down a cardboard box in this motherfucker so he can get jiggy with it or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know, a lot of people just don't know shit about fashion. They just rock fan gear every day. So it's like, there's no way you can go about this.
Yeah.
Buckets are in.
You're right. You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
That is a good question.
Well, all your fandom wardrobe you wear is theaters and Kodak. Is it?
Yeah,
That's where it stops.
When is the last time you had a day that you didn't wear one of those?
Yesterday.
You're lying.
I think yesterday. I don't know.
It is funny now that you say that, though. I really do see you in one of those too every single time.
I'm consistent.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
You know what to expect out of me. This dude just pop up in a Kango and shit. Or
It's Puma.
It's not a Kango.
It's Puma.
Well, you know what I'm saying? You got to have Adidas on with that shit, bro. My Adidas. That's what
He's locked and loaded.
This
right
motherfucker,
now.
I see.
This motherfucker look like he got a beatbox all of a sudden.
I look good. I don't know what you're talking about. I look good. Appreciate it, bro.
I like the style.
You look like
the old chain too. I like it.
You look like a young Biz Markie. That was a good one.
That was fun. I'm not gonna lie. He had a couple good ones in there. I do like the fit.
Sure,
I like the fit, but Carl had some heat.
Maybe you're just jealous, bro. You don't find colors like
take
that.
effort to put something on.
Yeah, no doubt.
Instead of looking like
No
I just
doubt.
rolled out of work from home gear. You know what I'm saying? Like,
All right, wait. I'm catching strays.
That's 75% of America right now, motherfucker.
I'm catching strays right now for no reason.
I'm just saying.
I ain't worn
I
non-sweatpants
just
in
got off
3
of work
years.
too. Can't tell I just got off. That's all I'm saying.
Right about that.
How y'all
Unless
feeling
you,
today? I did snap on a joke. I didn't realize he was going to continue.
It's all good.
It was an accident. It was an accident.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah, maybe the good ones have fizzled out.
Yeah, that one might not have landed. I didn't know how I was going to format that one. So
man.
could have been a stumble in there. You know, once you stumble, that shit is no longer hitting.
Yeah, then it's a wrap.
Now you trying to like get it out real quick. Well, it's over now. You lost it.
You hit the Biz Markie and my Adidas.
Yeah, that was it.
Those were the two winners. Yeah, just take your win, take your dubs, and keep it moving.
Well, you feel like you won. I still think I look good.
He got good jokes on you. You want it light.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You want it light.
I ain't
Looking
hating
good.
on you,
I
bro.
see you, dog. Boss. You know? But yeah. What else going on?
shit. Working.
Same old shit.
Same old shit.
Same here.
Getting to it.
Can't even talk to you about work right now. As a Benton before the podcast started, I can't put this on whack.
Yeah, I'll get
You know,
that shit
I mean-
on. No, fire off.
Yeah, I mean, I think just in
Not
general,
yet.
though, I think
Not
I got some
yet.
general thoughts about work. It's just that, you know, people at your job want you to go above and beyond, and that's just not realistic. You know, that is just not an everyday occurrence. I may get a surge of energy. Well, you know, I might want to do some extra shit.
So the thing,
But other than that, what's my job description? You know?
well, I think to amend what you're saying just a little bit, going above and beyond is just that. It is going above and beyond in a special situation to get the job taken care of.
Yeah.
100% down to do that at any point in time. I think that's how you move up and get higher positions.
That should be like an every once in a while
Yes,
thing.
but if you're asked every single day to go above and beyond, what has happened is we've not properly prepared for the work that we have to get done.
Oh, right, exactly.
So we're stretching
There's some slack going on somewhere.
Yeah, we're stretching the people that are here far too thin. And I actually dropped this bar in a meeting today. I said, it's like when you're living paycheck to paycheck and you get some random bill in the mail for your property tax or something. It's just like one little thing just sends you off the deep end because it's like, yo, we're already stretched too thin. I can't afford another bill.
Right.
That's how I feel at work right now.
Yeah.
Every time something goes wrong or somebody's like, hey, could you do this? I need you to just take a little bit extra real quick right here. I'm like, no, my fucking plate is full. I got no room. Leave me alone.
That's enough.
And you shouldn't be at work every single day feeling like that. So I'm very frustrated right now.
That's a fact.
But if you're my employer, shout out to you listening. I still love my job and I'm thankful to work for you. What else do you guys have to talk about right now?
That was funny. I'm sorry. This is funny.
I just want to share how happy I am with my employment. Thank you very much.
Oh, man. That's
Outside
crazy.
of work, though, I gotta say, last week was a fantastic week. I've allowed this week to get fucked up early on, but we're not going to throw the whole week away. Tomorrow's going to be a good day.
That's true.
That's where I'm standing.
Just
at right
started.
now. Yep.
We're here.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Nothing else going on, though? Are we getting right into these games? We can. I got no problems with it.
I don't know. Nothing major for me. But fucking truck problems. That's it.
That sucks.
Truck problems. They
Yeah, the
started.
truck won't start, man.
They say it won't start.
Yeah. Well, it started, then it won't start, and then I don't know. So I'm getting it figured out. It'll be fixed by tomorrow, though. for
Battery
sure.
alternator.
No, I tried the battery, and it's not the battery. That shit's brand new. Tested the alternator. Once I got it started, it's all good. Thank you. I'm thankful for that. But
You're welcome.
yeah, you're welcome. But no, I just think it's a starter. But it's been an odd situation. It's been a few days now. I've been, vehicleless. So
That sucks.
I mean, it's a plus to working at home. You ain't got to go nowhere.
That is true.
I gotta go somewhere every day.
All right, you got-
Well, that sucks then. We tried.
I gotta drop my daughter off at school.
We could have recorded at your house tonight if you told me.
No, I got my dad's truck.
That ain't a
I got
big
my
deal.
dad's truck. I'm driving, old big word,
the old big word.
Yeah, Mr. Word.
The original big word.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't even try to do that. That's
I am the original
That's the
big
biggest
word.
word.
There is no big word before me.
That's why.
Like I was big. I donned that name. Like there was no big. I am the original big word. So that's what it is.
Nothing is original. Nobody is first thought.
I mean, if you can say that, I guess.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
But yeah.
Yeah, I ain't got shit.
Well, that
going on.
sucks.
Same old shit. Living life, living the dream.
Oh yeah, motherfucking time traveling and this shit. I want to be like you, bro.
Do you?
Yeah. Motherfucker look like he'll sell your 8-ball right now on the crack era or something.
Look like you already got the 8-ball.
Maybe.
That's what you look like today. You like you already own that motherfucker.
Maybe.
Let's talk about these football games.
Yeah.
Big weekend last weekend. Best weekend of the year, probably, right?
Is
I guess.
Arguably supposed to be the two best games of the year, I would say. Last
Yes.
4 teams.
Well, I mean, I don't know because I did not see any of the first game. I listened to the entire thing. I was on the road, so I didn't visually see. Maybe like the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. But I mean, from listening to it, it sounded like a pretty thrilling, exciting game. Kansas City and Baltimore is what I'm talking about.
That was the first game? Yeah, it was the first game.
Yeah. It was a great game. Early on the Chiefs offense looked fairly dominant. We heard all year pretty much, and specifically all playoffs, about how great the Ravens defense was. And I think they turned into that later in the game.
Second half.
But the first 2 or 3 possessions, I believe
Mahomes was like 10 for 10 or 11 for 11 or some shit.
Yeah, I believe 10 for 10 is what he started before the first incompletion. Kelsey was catching every single ball, it felt like. He went for almost 100 yards in the first half. But I think they scored 2 touchdowns on the first 2 drives.
Yeah.
And it really was like, yo, Baltimore might get run out of here. And then from that point forward, their defense really looked like what they were advertised as all the way through. I don't think the Chiefs scored in the second half, right?
Yeah, nobody did.
Yeah, nobody scored in the
Except
second
for
half.
Field
So I don't know, that aspect was interesting. That boy Kyle Hamilton was in on every single play.
That's all I heard on the radio.
It is incredible.
That's all I heard
bro.
was Kyle Hamilton on the tackle. Kyle Hamilton and with the stop.
It was ridiculous.
Literally all I heard was, I'm like, yo, this dude's having a day. Cause I'm thinking I'm going to hear Roquan Smith's name a bunch, but
Right.
he had a quiet game overall. I heard Patrick Queen's name a lot. It seemed like he was flashing on the field and a whole lot of fucking Kyle Hamilton. That was it.
It was nuts.
And a whole lot of Travis Kelce. I just don't understand. I do not understand how the Chiefs don't have any fucking body at wide receiver. Like, Rice is pretty good.
Yeah, I think Rice is good.
He's solid, but he don't command a double team to think about him in that regard. Well, how the fuck I don't know how open he was. Again, I haven't necessarily seen the highlights or anything, but it seemed like he was pretty wide the fuck open on a few occasions.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how does that happen? You know, I don't get it. It happens all the time.
Passes, they was on him. It was just some tough ass catches that he made.
Yeah,
and Mahomes put that shit on the fucking money.
It was a good mix of both. The other thing I was going to mention is Kelce. Like, it seemed like throughout this season that he wasn't the same Kelce as he always has been.
He was.
Like, he still obviously was a talented guy out on the field and shit, but it didn't feel like Travis Kelce out there. He was Travis Kelce in that game. And the first touchdown that he caught back shoulder on Kyle Hamilton was just like the absolute perfect pass, perfect catch you could have ever made. And then he had that wild catch on like third or fourth down where Mahomes is scrambling all over the place and he dives out. Like, it was pretty nuts. But
it was some crazy catch.
For the most part, you were right. Like, the announcers kept talking about how the Ravens play a lot of zone. And in the first half, they just picked them apart. And then they went more man in the second half. It was a totally different story.
Yeah, I don't get why you would come out with that game plan though.
Against Kelce.
I don't,
right?
yeah, right.
Like, what are we doing?
This dude, that's what he makes a living at, finding a hole in zones. Like, even if we're going to run a zone scheme, we're never zoning on this guy. Like, we're always going to have a body on him. Like, that's the game plan. I don't get how you, I like diverge from that. Like, that it should be exactly what we talked about it all week. I'm saying 87. Who else are we talking about besides 87 and 15 and sometimes 10? That's it.
Yeah. I mean, well, looking at it, it wasn't that zone, but it was kind of like the Gronk effect to me. Like, when Gronk was at his prime with us, like, in certain situations, you knew the fucking ball was going to him and you really couldn't do shit about it. And that's what it looked like in the first half. It's just at the point where, like, they're getting the ball to Kelce. They're going to make sure he get a lot of targets. And they was getting the ball to him and running plays for him and making sure he was a part of the first half of the game. And then, they switched it up and it died down. But it was one of them things where it wasn't like, they was like, we ain't worried about Kelce. It was on some shit like the Chiefs was making sure Kelce was part of this game and this win. That's what it seemed like to me. Ain't really one that they could do about it.
I think if you had to go like percentages, I would definitely say it was more like 70% that Kelce and Mahomes just,
they was locked in.
Like, it was just perfect pass into small window over and over and over again. More so than just being wide open. But I mean, like you said, if they're calling out the game plan that they're in zone, why would zone be the initial game plan in the first place?
You clearly made adjustments and that made a difference.
Yeah. Shut down the whole thing.
It's like you clearly made adjustments and it made a difference, but it's like that should have been the game plan coming into this.
So maybe they was sleeping on Kelce because Kelce kind of been, like you said, he had a down year. Maybe they was feeling like, we're gonna make them make a play type shit.
Oh no, man, I can't believe that. It's just like, I don't know. I mean, maybe they are. I mean, and to this point, they are for sure the most unstoppable duo. That I mean, the NFL has seen really, but
I ain't gonna say has seen. They are currently.
He passed Rice in, I believe it was playoff reception.
Yeah, that's the most unstoppable duo. I'm fine with saying that.
Okay.
I'm fine with saying that.
Go ahead. Good.
I mean, we've seen just so many clutch moments with them to make it a connection, or it's just always Kelce having a big game, regardless of knowing that he has to have a big game. So, I mean, that's unstoppable to me.
Yeah, a little recency bias, but yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's some other recency bias too. Like, you could say now, for sure that Mahomes is the best quarterback to ever play the game. That's not. I don't think it's debatable. I don't think so.
going to disagree again, but go ahead.
It's debatable, but I agree with you.
I mean, I think
You gonna say it's not debatable? It's wild as shit. But
the
go
only
ahead,
box
get your
that
shit
you
off.
can check is that Tom Brady has more rings. That's the only box, and that might outweigh every other fucking box. But at the same time, Mahomes checks. It's a landslide for Mahomes on the other side.
Well, I mean, that's
It's not a
again, like
landslide.
I
It's
agree
not
with
a
you.
landslide.
But
It is a landslide.
Brady hasn't beaten every metric right
Yeah,
now.
he has 20
Like,
years
I
of this.
think
Well,
Mahomes
you're
is-
talking about like just career statistics.
Well, no,
That's going to take a long time.
Well, when you said the only thing that he hasn't beaten is rings, I feel like it's relevant to say he hasn't beaten every metric, and it looks like Mahomes will pass that if he keeps up the pace that he's on.
Yeah, right.
But it's not that he only hasn't beaten rings. That's all.
Yeah, but no. At the
And
same
he's
time,
never
like,
beat Brady. Brady, that's the point, was he's never beat. So we got to add that in there too.
I mean,
He hasn't even beat the
Yeah, he
coach.
lost to Brady in the Super Bowl. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah, twice.
That means something.
For Super Bowl and who was it? AFC Championship?
AFC Championship, I guess.
Yeah, AFC Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's always going to have that one up. And there ain't no comeback around for that.
No doubt, no doubt. But it's just come on, you know what's up.
Brady and Burrow, the only two quarterbacks that's ever beat Mahomes. So
In the playoffs.
Playoffs. That's great.
Yeah, in the playoffs.
That is wild to think about that.
yeah,
I mean, the dude has only played in AFC Championship games in his
That's
career.
that's beyond ridiculous. It really is.
And I mean, it really goes to show. I mean, quarterback is everything, but it's just you're not gonna get another Patrick Mahomes. Like it's. I don't know how you necessarily come into the offseason as an AFC team and be like, this is how we're going to compete. I don't know what your strategy is because I don't think you can build a defense up that can necessarily stop him. We've seen that he's gonna get his. And you're not going to draft the Patrick Mahomes.
Well, I mean,
the likelihood of that is very.
so you know recency bias again. He had a rough year this season. A lot of people dogged him.
he had
What's a rough
he had
season for
rough
him?
year from Mahomes.
What's a rough
I think
season? What's the stats for Mahomes? And then you tell me what a rough season is.
You could find while you find them. The Ravens held him to 17 points. The game, the difference in the game this past week, honestly, was the Chiefs' defense and the way that they were able to keep the Ravens to 7 points. Also, a lot of Ravens miscues, I think, were a really big deal in that game. But I mean, they put up 17 points. I think the recipe was there for this year for it to be able to happen, and they didn't.
This dude's down year is 4,100 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 14 picks.
It was the 14 picks is what.
Yeah,
it was the down part for him. But yeah, I mean it's
still a great season.
Yeah, the vast majority of teams would take that.
You're gonna take it every year.
Every year.
Every year.
Yeah.
Well, I would. Shit. But yeah, I mean, you could write the story a couple different ways. You could talk about Mahomes' dominance in the first half, but really, man, the Ravens, they just shot themselves repeatedly.
Well, there was a sequence.
In moments where they could have clearly taken the lead or tied the game or got some kind of momentum inches away from stealing the momentum of the game.
Cut it to 3 with that touchdown, but there was a moment. Yeah, it was the moment. The moment of the game is when Zay gets the safety got mixed up and lost Zay completely. I think that play ended up going for 50 or 60 yards.
Yeah.
And then he gets down. It was Snead. And he pushes Snead off of him and then spins the ball right in front of him and stands over top of him. He was absolutely had to get called for the taunting penalty, which they did. Mm-hmm. That 15-yard penalty was huge. Then he goes to the sideline after the penalty and he punches the bench and he cuts his hand.
Yeah, he fucked himself up.
And then he gets back in the game. And the next time he touched the ball is when he dives in to try to get the touchdown and fumbles. And it's just like he did almost everything to get them into the position that they were in. And he made a ton of great plays on the drive, but the biggest decisions he made, 3 in a row, fucked them so bad that the game was over at that point once the fumble happened.
And it seemed like he was really the only wide receiver or really the only Ravens pass catcher because they didn't do. Seems like they threw the ball a lot or attempted to, but nobody was really making plays. He was the only person that was getting busy or getting free, getting loose. Everybody else, I mean, I heard Nelson Aguilar's name a couple times, and it's like, if you get that deep into it, y'all ain't doing too well. You know what I'm saying? If he catching passes.
I thought Odell was going to be a bigger part in this game, and he was absent. Like,
I didn't even hear his name.
He was absent
5
pretty much
minutes
the
left.
whole game.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. Bateman didn't have a game.
Neither of the tight ends looked anything special.
They seemed like they was just catching little third down, 3rd and 3 passes over the middle or something. That's kind of what I was hearing from Likely and Andrews.
I've seen
Nothing
a lot.
significant.
It was a lot of plays in that game where fucking Lamar was just back there for a long time, like just waiting. And it seemed like nobody was getting open.
Yeah.
I feel like Lamar fucked up mostly by not taking off.
Yeah.
At some point, you just got to start taking off. Obviously, people weren't getting open. I think he had, like this whole season, I think he had changed his dynamic as far as staying in the pocket and throw a little bit more than taking off. But it's the playoffs, dog. A lot of shit on the line. You see people ain't getting open.
Yeah.
One of the best runners with the football in the league. You got to start taking off.
Yeah.
And that was blowing me that he just won't doing it. Like he was staying there and waiting to get sacked. Like, take off, bro.
I thought they did a really good job blitzing him. They were doing it contained to where they were not letting him just take off. I thought they did a good job of that. Every time he'd step to one side or start to step up, it was another dude coming into that lane. I thought, honestly, I had to make fun of you on Sunday and troll you, just be an asshole. I was an asshole on Sunday. I had to troll you because I hate Lamar, and it was just too easy to just tell you that he did exactly what I told you he would do again. But if I'm being honest with you, I don't think actually losing to Patrick Mahomes is really a big knock against Lamar. And I think that their game plan was absolute trash. They run the ball.
Right?
They run the ball. That is what they do.
Yeah.
We can keep trying to turn Lamar into this pocket passer and stuff. Say whatever you want about that. But their team identity is run the ball. And we just saw the Chiefs get the ball ran down their throat by the Bills over and over and over the week before. And they had Gus Edwards had 3 carries. Justice Hill had 3. Zay Flowers had 2. Lamar had 8 for himself. But where the fuck were the run plays being called?
Yeah.
No clue what was going on with that.
That's what
It
I'm
was
saying.
almost like they was trying to play like they was the Chiefs.
Right.
But
This is not y'all.
That's what I'm saying. It's almost like the exact opposite of like what the defense was, or like the same thing I'm saying about what their defense was doing. Like, what the fuck was your game plan?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the game, they scored fucking 17 points. The game was never out of reach to the point where we abandoned the run game,
At
right?
all.
So
At all.
that shouldn't have even been a thought. And the best strategy for beating Mahomes is to keep the ball out of his fucking hands to begin with. So, of course, I'm thinking they're going to run the ball all fucking day. And they didn't. I get you wanting to keep the ball in Lamar's hands. That's fine. But it just it didn't seem like they gave him, I mean, you got to know that the blitz is coming, especially after the first, 15 times they did the shit.
Second 4 times.
Yeah.
Lamar,
I mean,
that's crazy.
A lot of the times it seemed like he didn't even know it was coming type shit, but clearly they're blitzing you on all of these 3rd and longs or 3rd and passing down type scenarios. They blitzing the fuck out of Lamar, keeping them in the pocket. But it didn't seem like they were.
Fumble.
Yeah.
That fumble was one that was like, it was a 4 or 5 second play and somebody hits him from behind.
It didn't seem like they were giving them any hots though. Or he wasn't changing the play. Like, you got to be able to change the play at the line of scrimmage. Just say, this is clearly a blitz. We're going to get the ball out quick. I mean, maybe they were doing that. Guys weren't getting open. I'm not sure, but it don't sound like that. It sounded like motherfuckers was running regular ass, deep ass routes and not getting open in time.
There was a lot of that.
So
They didn't utilize having Mark Andrews back at all, which I thought was wild.
Right.
It was like, why would you keep him in the window where you can get the ball to him? Like, you got Mark Andrews back, use him. Like, everything they did just didn't make no sense at all. Like, none of it made sense.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And that's when, you got to put your conscious glasses on and be like, is this fixed? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, did you guys want to lose this game? Because you did everything possible to lose the motherfucker. You were, the dumbest penalties in the world the Ravens had.
The fix shit is wild, but this was one of them weekends where it'll make you think it.
No.
Just like how shit was happening. Because I just want to get this on out there because it's been on my mind. Yo, like, this could have been one of the blackest fucking Super Bowls we ever had in all time. It could have been the players' fucking ball. Detroit and Baltimore in the playoffs.
Oh, for sure.
it would have been a player's ball. You would have seen so many buffs and fur coats and 990s and ski masks.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a
They
different
didn't want
time.
that Super Bowl to happen, boy. That's funny.
I mean, I don't know. You know, you look. I saw some things before the game, where you see that the referee crew that officiated the game, apparently the away team wins like 60% of the time that they officiate a game, and the league average is like completely opposite of that. Which, I mean, that says something. I mean, I think, you know, looking at it, and the Ravens played a fucking terrible game. I'm not saying that it was the refs fixed it or anything like that.
No, that's exactly what you're saying. But that is exactly the point that you're making right now.
I think that regardless of how well or
I'm gonna have to troll again.
How bad the Ravens played, they were not going to win that game. You get what I'm saying? Like they were not going to
win that game with Lamar Jackson throwing 37 passes. Lamar Jackson needs the perfect setup. They need the best defense in the league. They need to be up 14 points and then able to just control the game from that point forward. Lamar gets behind and he has no ability to make a comeback. And the game plan they had to put out there with him trying to sling the rock all over the place did not work. It never works. His playoff numbers continue to suck. He can't get the job done in the playoffs. It is what it is.
That's not true.
We could put any ref out there that we want to. It wouldn't fucking matter because when it's not a wild card game, Lamar Jackson can't get the job.
Now we moving the goalposts because before it was like, oh, he can't play in the playoffs.
You say about the Troy,
He can't play in the playoffs.
He can't play in the playoffs. We're not giving nobody credit for being the number 1 seed and having home field advantage and beating the number 7 seed wild card.
They didn't beat them.
Nobody cares about that.
The Texans were a division winner. They didn't beat a 7 seed. So I don't know what you're talking about.
It doesn't matter.
That's not accurate.
You judge Lamar on the biggest curve ever. It's ridiculous.
I just sit there. I sat there and said he didn't play a great game.
I don't give a shit. After you say that, you go into the ref store. You will never.
I mean,
you're wrong about Lamar. I'm right.
You gotta put your conscious glasses on. You gotta put your conscious glasses on.
I got the vision. I judge what's put on paper. I'm not trying to predict what he's gonna do in the next 5 years. I don't give a fuck. If he wins a Super Bowl, I'll say he was better than I expected him to ever be. But what he's put on paper, I judge clearly, and I'm right. You're wrong.
At this point, he's better than you ever expected him to be. At this point,
is that the only thing that would change you on Lamar if he wins?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like that's that's like, come on, bro. There's so many great players.
No, it's not extreme. No, it's not extreme because I already say that he's a great quarterback. Yeah. Carl tries to tell me he's top 2. Carl tried to put in the chat that he's been the best football player for the past couple of years. He forgot about Mahomes. I'll let it slide.
We know where this Mr. Extreme with his guys. He like,
no, it's beyond ridiculous. No,
I always give Mahomes the highest praise when we come up to shit.
Yeah, so you
like, I put Mahomes in a different category.
So I'll let it go.
I put Mahomes in a different category. But
I hold Lamar to a reasonable standard.
You can't really sit here and say that any other quarterback is better than Lamar.
Lamar's probably the 5th best quarterback in the league. I respect that. It's very good numbers. There's nothing wrong with
He's about to be the 2-time MVP though. Like once you get up in that type of conversation,
it's kind of hard to not at least have him 3 when he's got MVP.
He's Joel Embiid. These guys that perform fantastic in the regular season put out beautiful numbers, and then they get to the postseason and they don't get the job done. This is how we judge every other quarterback, every other player.
He just had a 4-touchdown game.
I don't care, bro.
A game ago.
We can look at all the postseason numbers, and they're not good.
All right, but what I want you to understand, though, is this.
Hold on.
We got to pause real quick.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell me some stupid shit you said before.
Well, I mean, I just. You betting on Lamar
I'm not betting against Lamar. I'm judging Lamar off of what he's done. I already told you, if he goes and wins the next 3 Super Bowls, I'll say that he's probably the 2nd best quarterback in the league. But right now, he hasn't done that, so I'm not giving him credit for shit that he might do.
I mean, why can't he be the 2nd best quarterback right now?
Because I don't think he is. I made this point very
who's the second
eloquently.
best?
Calm down.
This is the question.
Last week,
Right. Who would be second best on your list? Josh Allen?
I'm gonna answer the first question you asked me, and I'll come back to your second question later. I gave this very eloquent speech to Moss last week calmly because I
heard that bullshit.
Nah, it all makes 100% sense. The way I look at quarterbacks is what I just said. When we're talking about the best quarterbacks in the league, the majority of the time they're going to be front running. They're going to be winning games and out in front. But the guys that are the most scary, when Mahomes gets the ball, when Brady gets the ball, when Burrow gets the ball, when Allen gets the ball, and it's late in the game and they're down, it's like, shit, we got to figure out a way to get the ball back because we know they're going to score. When Lamar gets behind, you don't have that feeling. He has some comeback wins, 100%. I'm not saying he's never had a comeback win before. Beaters. When he has the ball, you don't have that same feeling. So I think the skill set that he has and the talent that he has is unique, one of one. Nobody else can do what Lamar does. But I don't think that he can do what these other elite quarterbacks can in the moments when it really happens to need it the most. And I think the reason we see him struggle in the postseason is because once we get to the postseason, you're talking about the best of the best that have sat there and game planned for you for a week, and they're going to try to make you do what you're not comfortable doing. And I think that's what the Chiefs did last week, and we got to see exactly how it played out. He's got far too many games in the postseason where they've come in as very high seeds, and they're putting up 7 points. They put up 12 points against the Titans a couple years back. They're not putting up offensive points that you see the top teams put out. Josh Allen, you can say whatever you want about his record and the fact that he loses to Mahomes every single week, but his team is not out there struggling because their offense put up 7 points. He's giving them what they got.
What about because he's turning the ball over?
In the playoffs, that hasn't been the case. That has not been the case in the playoffs.
I don't know.
They're losing, putting up 30 points to the Chiefs every year.
I have to look up his playoff numbers.
Divert to Josh Allen. I think he kind of cooked you just now.
It's 100%
true. Some fair points about Lamar.
All of it is.
I can't even argue.
There's nothing wrong with thinking of Lamar as the third or fourth best quarterback. I say fifth because I don't like his style, but I'll give you even third or fourth. There's nothing wrong with that.
But what I'm saying is like all the arguments that you can make for Lamar or against Lamar, you can make for other quarterbacks as well. Talking about postseason success, I can say that about Josh Allen. Yeah. Talking about injury prone, I can say that about Joe Burrow. All the and neither one of them have any MVPs. You get what I'm saying? So it's like
I don't care.
You can pick and choose all of this other stuff, but I can also pick and choose any of those other attributes or
yeah, but I don't have a problem.
Negatives. I can pick and choose those about other quarterbacks as well too. Sans Mahomes.
I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with you keeping him 2. You say he's 2 and you say everybody else is a moron if they think otherwise. I don't give a fuck if you have him at 2. Feel free. But I have very good reasoning why I don't.
I just think, I don't think it's sound. I think it's bias. Like when I look at it, it's just that I mean, Lamar Jackson, again, like you said, he's a one of one. He is the only player or one of 2 players in the league. You can put him on any team in the NFL and it automatically makes that team a contender, regardless of how you like it
or
how
he's
it
not
looks
a contender
on
ever.
Sunday. What do you say?
I'd say he's not a contender ever.
What does that mean? What do you mean?
You can put him on any team and then make him a playoff team. He's not a legitimate contender ever.
Yeah, I mean, that would make zero sense. We're talking about a dude who wins.
Contender for what, though? A ring?
Yeah. We talk about a guy who wins 75% of his games.
Not a legitimate
75%.
This is where it gets crazy because, like, you can't say that when he's never contended for a championship.
Not a legitimate contender.
What are you talking about? Well, he just played in the AFC Championship. That's contending for a championship. You're one of 4 teams left. Every year he's ever played, he's gotten his team to the postseason. You're contending for a championship. What did they say about Tony Dungy before he won one? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but nope. No. We got to stop it right here because you try to bring this up, and I tell you every time, the things that they said about Tony Dungy were true until he got one. And then when he changes the narrative, it's no longer the same.
Yeah.
And when Lamar does that, I'll change it too.
You change it.
They
say the same thing about Peyton Manning.
You
like to bring up Peyton Manning. They say the same thing about Peyton Manning. He's the best regular season quarterback of all time until he broke that threshold.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, though, it doesn't even matter if Lamar never wins a championship. It won't change the fact that he's still a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Agreed.
And to be a Hall of Fame quarterback, you're probably top 2 or 3 at your position across. You can't argue that, especially when the dude's winning the MVP at the same position. All of these other guys that you have ranked higher than him, that wouldn't make any sense. Just logically, unless you had bias inserted in that.
Because we can't have the MVP arguments that we have about how the award only goes to a quarterback and it goes to the quarterback that has the best record and all this. We discredit the MVP when we want to, when it's more fun to have Justin Jefferson conversations and CMC conversations, because we know that the MVP is just a quarterback award for who's got the best record. You're going to have to put up numbers, of course. I'm not saying he didn't deserve the MVPs when he got them. He won the award the way that they give it. But let's not act like that's not the case. He had the best record this year. He's going to get the MVP in one of the worst MVP statistical seasons we've ever seen. You know that that's true.
I mean, sure, but
you know that's true. And I'm not taking the MVP away from him, but let's talk about how much does this MVP really mean when he's about to get a default MVP because his team won 14 games and nobody else can.
That's not a default.
That's a default award.
No, it's not, because everybody else is competing.
But it really did come down. Like if Purdy and them beat them, was that the game that happened? If Purdy and them had beat them, Purdy would be winning.
But they didn't. They whooped their ass, bro.
You're right.
They kicked their ass up and down the
but
field.
The fact
and they
that
couldn't
it came
stop
down
Lamar
to a
Jackson.
late end of the season game between him and Brock Purdy means that he have it definitively cleared to be the MVP.
So fucking what? Nobody's going to remember that. Everybody's only going to remember that he's a 2-time fucking MVP and a Hall of Fame player. That's it.
I'm not trying to take. I'm not taking away his MVPs. He's going to win the MVPs. I think he's a Hall of Fame player as well. I'm just saying, you're quoting these MVPs as if they mean the most. I don't think they do. I gave a good reason.
They mean a lot when we're talking about somebody's career. And then when we're looking at, well, I'll tell you, we're going to look back and we're going to say, oh, well, Lamar and Mahomes won all the MVPs in this era where you said that all of these other quarterbacks was better than him. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I don't care.
How did they not win the MVPs then if they weren't better than him? How did they not propel their team to a better record if they weren't better than him or if they were more valuable to their team? That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like Lamar, literally,
I hear you. I don't care.
They had 21 folks on IR one year, and he was still leading his team to the number 1 seed in the AFC.
That's fantastic.
They had 21 folks on IR. No other quarterback can do that.
What do you try to get the 1 seed for?
For the bye week. And home field advantage, yeah.
Why do you want home field advantage?
It increases your chances of winning the game.
Why do you want to win the game? You want to get a fucking Super Bowl. All that shit he does is cute. That's awesome. Carried a team with a bunch of injuries to a great record. Legitimately impressive. I respect that. Don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but only one team wins a Super Bowl a year. We know that, right? And we're talking about...
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that's a fact. Only one team out of the 32 win a Super Bowl, so it's like
they never had to share.
You know, when we judging a player like that to say,
I'm not the only one.
Oh, he doesn't have a Super Bowl yet, and he's only 6 years into his career. It's crazy to me. Like we can't be that narrow when we're talking about.
I've gotten pigeonholed into forcing him to have a ring to change this conversation because you piss me off. That is a dumb reason. The ring is not it. The reason I really think that he's been garbage is because his numbers in the playoffs are trash. I don't give a fuck how dominant you are. If you get into we pull up game log.
For sure.
He's got 6 or 7 playoff games. I can't remember which. He's got 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and he's averaging like 180 passing yards a game. He's thrown, those are not numbers where it's like, well, this is my Josh Allen point. This is not they got far into the playoffs and he balled out and the team let him down. Because at that point, we're saying, he doesn't have a ring. It's fucking stupid. If he's out there putting up 3-4 touchdown games and dominating, it is what it is. But you look at his 6 or 7 playoff game log, he's got about 2 games that he did really well in. One was 2 weeks ago, and the other one was in a loss to the Titans. He had some retarded numbers of like 300 passing yards, and I think he ran for $125.
He's the only quarterback in NFL history.
Absolutely insane numbers.
200-yard rushing performances in the postseason,
something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna argue with that.
But that's not real
wild to me. Why he won't fucking running crazy Sunday? Like,
right?
Hey, you're supposed to go crazy in the play.
He got to go instinct.
So nobody was open. You got to take off more.
But give me that. Give me that. I just said I'll back up. The ring thing is stupid. If he finishes his career without a ring, it doesn't mean that he couldn't have been the top 2 or 3 quarterback. That's a stupid point to make. But what I said is legitimate.
His playoff numbers are not great.
All right.
I
think we should stop there.
Agree with that. And I don't think
we got some agreements going
yeah,
on.
and I wasn't going to argue that. And they came out with the same strategy that the Steelers used against Lamar. If you look at his numbers against the Steelers, we whooped Lamar up.
I know that's
it's the exact same strategy that we used. Was what the Chiefs deployed against them. Keep him in the pocket, blitz him on passing downs, and make him make a quick decision. Or, and don't let them get out and scramble and all that bullshit. Like, that's the same thing that the Steelers do. And we've had great success against them, with that plan. So, I mean, I completely agree with that. But when you talk about postseason numbers, the reason why some of that shit don't matter to me is because a guy like me watch a motherfucker like Ben Roethlisberger play, where he sucked in the postseason. He was awful. You know what I'm saying? And we won games in spite of that. He would just get him to the moment enough to where he can make a play. So I'm not saying that Lamar is that or can't be that or whatever, but all I'm saying is like, that's not the end all be all for me is, he stinks but the team's got to go out there and win a fucking game. That's what it's all about. Now, if you want to be the catalyst to that.
The points thing is heavy. Like, you got to put up points.
For sure.
You can't. There's no way you're going to win playoff games if you don't.
For sure. I mean, especially when you need 17, but things just didn't go their way, and it wasn't all Lamar's fault.
But
you know what I'm saying?
But if we give him all the credit for carrying the team to the postseason, and then his postseason numbers are bad, and we say that's not the end all be all, but they're losing, I would say that is the end all be all at that point.
Yeah, you got it.
But I think we got the closest we're ever going to get on a Lamar thing. I mean, I'm not cutting you off. If you got more to say,
to wrap it up, at the end of the day, I think we brought this up last week, but this was the year to knock off Mahomes.
Yeah.
This was the season. This is the year that you can get Mahomes the fuck up out of there, and nobody did it yet.
It makes me, I mean, I am a Mahomes fan to the fullest.
Oh, we fucking know.
But it makes me sick that, this year with the team that they have, they still advance to the Super Bowl. Because it's like, what the fuck is happening?
If they go on to win this ring, I expect the hate to start. The hate got to start and everybody rooting for them.
I think it started already. Yeah, I think the hate
it's got to start. Because this is the season when they weren't really that great as they usually were.
Yeah, it's turned.
For them to still go win the ring, it would be like, all right, the hate got to start.
And the Taylor Swift stuff is really what's making it culminate.
What's gotten the hate than Mahomes. But
I see you said something about that Taylor Swift. Why you mad that people don't like that Taylor Swift shit?
Oh, I'm not mad. People annoy me, and I think the Taylor Swift thing has gotten played out.
You see that shit that got played out by the people, or is it getting played out by the fucking NFL?
No, I think this is not something like that crazy to think about. You saw the revenue that she has brought to the Chiefs in the NFL with something like $330 million. Like, if you don't think that the NFL is going to put her on as much as they possibly can, you're a fucking retard.
But what makes
we're not in the first week of it though, dog. It's like this is the fourth or fifth week that this has been a part of it. Like, shut up.
Pretty much all season. All season.
It's pretty much all season.
At least half the season at this point.
Yeah, it's saying that, stop showing her. They're trying to force us. It's over with.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. If you go watch the game,
I don't even compare fuck about Taylor Swift. It's not mad, but what's annoying to me is like the thing that we always talk about. I feel like they forcing the shit on us.
No, it is.
I'm going to read the shit that I seen today. I think it was today or earlier. This is the shit that ESPN posted on their Instagram. Mm-hmm. Could Taylor Swift attend the Super Bowl? Here's how it would work. Taylor will be playing the Final Eras Tour show in Japan the day before the Super Bowl. Tokyo, Japan is 17 hours ahead of Las Vegas, which works in favor for Taylor. The show should end around 11 p.m. on Saturday night in Tokyo, which is 6 a.m. in Las Vegas. The flight from Tokyo to Las Vegas will take about 13 hours, which will put her in Vegas around Saturday evening. This means she can arrive in Vegas the night before the Super Bowl and possibly be there to cheer the Chiefs on Sunday. It's this shit like this. Why? Yeah, why before we got to know the breakdown of her tour in Japan and if she can make it to Vegas? Why?
But I can tell you the answer, and it can be annoying, but it's because they're generating mad revenue. Right, but so many people care about this that never cared about ESPN or the NFL. Yeah. I think the same thing about
that's a fact. My daughter cares about this shit.
Right. Yeah. I said the same thing a couple months back about how they were forcing the WNBA on us. Mm-hmm. And at this point, they're going to continue to do it. So if I continue to complain about it, I'm a fucking idiot. is how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But I will say, I have more reason to stand on what I'm saying because there's no reason for it. The Taylor Swift thing they're pushing on us because they're raking in cash. The WNBA shit, nobody gave a fuck about them. There was no revenue incentive. They're just trying to do it for fuck's sake. I don't know.
But it has money involved because the NBA and whatever, they're connected to the WNBA. So they have to make sure that's popping because that's better for the NBA.
I'm not going to re-argue the WNBA thing.
So
sure, they're trying to make money out of it, but I'm saying it's not a revenue that is already there. The Taylor Swift thing, every time you make a post on it, if you're ESPN, your engagement goes through the fucking roof. So I understand exactly why they'll keep doing it for 2 more weeks.
I mean, and yeah, right. And that kind of leads me back. Like, how could you know that information of how much money she generates and not think that the NFL is going to do everything to get these motherfuckers in the Super Bowl? You know what I'm saying?
At this point, I'm thinking they going to kick Usher off the Super Bowl halftime show and put Taylor out there. At this point, I feel like if that was to happen, I would not be surprised. Or if she just made like a type of guest appearance during his halftime performance.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised with that.
She'll get plenty of TV time, so she'll probably be on the screen more than Usher.
Might fly in on the chopper right on the field and land there.
Yeah.
Might fly right into the field.
Yeah. I also posted that shit because I do like to just get on people's nerves. And it gets on my nerves, so I want to get on other people's nerves because there is a racial aspect to this. If this is Beyonce, the people that are the most upset about seeing Taylor's face so much wouldn't care. Do you disagree with that?
You think it's because she's white?
No, I'm saying that I think the majority of the people that I see the most offended by the amount of time that they show Taylor are black people. And I think if it was Beyonce, that the people that are mad about it wouldn't care. I think the people that would be so upset about Beyonce's face being all over the TV nonstop would be a bunch of white people.
I disagree. I disagree with that. I disagree. Because I think it'd still be annoying because it ain't got shit to do with football. Yeah, I think your average football fan just doesn't like it. It's annoying
for me. It's like, yo, this shit ain't got nothing to do with the game. Like, why they keep showing her and like, all right, like we get it. Beyonce's there. All right. Let's go back to the game.
And I mean, and I fuck with Taylor Beyonce, but it's just like not an ugly word. But anybody would like to look at Beyonce 10 times versus looking at Taylor. I mean, is that the color doesn't matter when it comes to that? Like,
I mean, Beyonce is, a lot of people like the Taylor Swift figure. They look at her like that.
There's a lot of people that think she's
a
very attractive.
lot of people like Taylor like that.
Ain't nobody saying that she's more attractive than like Beyonce or
people. There's a lot of people that
like white girl.
I don't find Taylor very attractive at all. I never have.
I don't think
I think it's part of why I wasn't.
Nobody would say that like unless they're like under threat of death or something like that. Like, is your life in danger, sir? Like, you can tell me sign language. Let me know. Because this can't be how you really feel. Come on. Be honest with a nigga. Like, is it fandom? Like, that's driving you?
She's a pretty girl.
I'm not saying that, but come on. We're talking about Beyonce here.
I'm confident in what I said, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we should poll this shit. Like, come on, bro.
Hey, you. But, I'm sorry, it was just then. It was
sorry.
I mean, break down what that means to you. Why don't you give us a breakdown? You said it, bro. You break as to what your mind went through when I said that.
Bro. No, my mind ain't go through nothing.
Go ahead. We would like for you to elaborate and
the pole shit out here.
Define each word and the relation to some gay shit.
Would you like the pole, Taylor Swift?
I think he was thinking of a pole as a dick.
Yeah.
Anything else on the Chiefs game?
No, I have nothing else for the Chiefs.
Wait, Chiefs back. They're back in it.
Unbelievable. Back to back.
We're going to get to that stuff like for real next week, but I do think they're going to lose this game.
Me too. Me too.
I think the matchup is bad.
I've been calling this like eventually. I mean,
you've been calling what? How you knew it was going to be in it?
No, I'm just saying.
I got a Niners Super Bowl from October.
Eventually, what I was saying about the Chiefs is that like the wide receiver issues are going to arise. Like I know they had like Rice step up and stuff like that, but at a certain point, the issues that's plagued them all year long, they're going to come back. I don't think they've cured that. So
you would think,
especially because the tougher the talent gets. And And you saw they did get stifled. It's not like they ran over the Ravens. Like they had a great first half, and then
They scored
Ravens
17.
slowed them down. So yeah,
Give up 17 points.
The defense ain't been no slouch either.
You got to put more than 17 against
and the Ravens had plenty of opportunities to win that game. So
at least put up enough points. Yeah,
I mean, come on. Yeah, two red zone.
Should have had at least
2 red
14.
zone turnovers.
It should have at least 14. No matter
Crucial.
Yeah.
2 bad ones at that. I mean, 1 inches away from the goal line, and the other one is just a lollipop in triple coverage. So it was just a terrible decision. So
for sure.
yeah, but we can move on.
Lions Niners NFC Championship.
That game was a blast.
That was a good game.
That game
Really
was
good
awesome.
game.
Lions jump out all over them. 14 to nothing
did.
instantly. And
They
it's
did.
felt, I think the Lions
They
have
did that
done
last
this.
week.
Yeah, every week it feels like the first 3 possessions, they're putting up 21.
They going for the
Figure out
jugular.
what you're going to do, but they're going to get you some point.
Yeah, they did that.
They jumped out to the 14, and I'm talking all game with my boy in Detroit, biggest Lions fan I know. Just like he's texting me, he's like, "Is this real?" Like I just
It doesn't seem real. It
I
didn't
don't
seem
believe
real.
this is really happening. Like there's no way this is going to go down. And then of course later in the game, as things really start to turn,
Shit turned.
he went to a dark place.
Once you get up 17, though, you got
That second half, yo, the turnaround was crazy.
I mean, once you get up 17, what was that with the
It was 24-7.
24-7
Was the biggest lead that it got to.
I mean, once you get up 17, you're like, oh man, we got this.
Yeah, well, so
is nothing.
it was 21-7, and then right before the half is when they had that drive that went down to the 2 or 3 yard line, and their last second of the half, and he decided to kick the field goal, which I thought was a good call. You go up 24-7.
That was the only smart call he had that game.
See, I thought I'm gonna completely, I'm gonna
He had
fight
one
with you
big fuck
again.
up.
I think I'm gonna fight with you again on this point.
Let's
But
get it.
you go ahead.
You're talking about, I mean, they went for what, twice on 4th down? They didn't get either. I'm fine with them. I think it was the first one.
I think they were up 14 on the first one.
That was 24-10.
Yeah.
The first one I had an issue with. The first one I had a huge issue with because you're already up 2 scores. You kicking that ball and going up 3 scores
Put 'em in the bind.
changes the game, especially
I
because
think it's a good point.
San Francisco had went down and scored and kicked the 3, right? So it's just like,
Yeah,
didn't
it
it?
must have. 'Cause
Yeah,
it was
right.
24-10.
I'm assuming, or
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact sequence of the game. But they had just scored. So just getting some points right there, it would be huge for the momentum of the game. And I mean, you got to think about it in the back of your head. I know you don't want to think about the negatives, but as a coach, it's your job to say, if we don't get this and they march down here and score, the game is a completely different fucking feel.
So
After that.
that's the part that I disagree with, though. I think that is the only one that you can like really question and say, like, if you go up 17, it's a big difference than being up 14.
I don't know how exactly where it was, but I was thinking like
it was
midway
mid-third
through the
quarter.
3rd quarter.
Yeah.
You up 3 possessions. At this point, we just count possessions for the rest of the game and say, hey, we're going to hold the ball long enough to where you can't come back. That's just,
Run that shit.
playing some math games. That's it.
I think that's a fair point. They were talking about the fact that they didn't trust their kicker. They signed Badgley off of nowhere. Like 2 weeks left in the season, they picked him up. So it was a guy that they were not super confident in. From what they were saying, between 40 and 50 yards, he was 70% on the year. I think Dan Campbell's been a aggressive coach the entire season. It's what got him there. You got a kicker that you're not super confident in, and your offense has balled out all game. I think he made the decision to go with what they do. And if I believe it was Reynolds, I think it's Josh Reynolds. If he makes the catch that hit him in both of his fucking hands, none of it matters. He dropped a wide open pass. Wide open might be a little excessive.
It was it wasn't a great pass.
He dropped a pass he should have caught.
Yeah, no doubt.
And if he catches that, then who knows what happens the rest of the drive. They might end up getting a touchdown. The game never turns around. I think I hate the next day discussion on these games because in the big one, everybody is looking to blame one person for all of it. Lamar's the guy that they got for the Ravens game. And like I said, even after arguing all that shit, he made a couple bad plays, but their whole game plan was garbage. I think trying to scapegoat Lamar for everything is stupid for that game. And the same thing for Dan Campbell. Like, this is how he coached all year. Week 1, when we watched him play the Chiefs and he runs the fake punt on his own 10, it's like, yo, this guy is nuts.
Yeah,
but
nuts.
That's how he coached. So I just don't really like questioning
live and die by
the fact.
I'm fine with living and dying by it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was necessarily the worst thing that they did. I think the worst call he might have made was the run play.
The last possession.
Yeah. That might have been the worst. And
it was such a big risk.
It's like, why do you choose to run here when you ain't really run the ball all second half? And maybe that was his thinking, like, oh, they're not expecting it. They only ran the ball like 7 times in the second half. So that's really what I have an issue with. You dominated the 49ers on the run game in your first 3 it seemed like they were getting 10 yards a chunk. Mm-hmm. Gibbs couldn't be tackled at times. Like,
He's
that's
so good.
He was just sliding through people. He got the fumble later.
Yeah, that was rough.
They were obviously the more physical team early in that game, and they just didn't keep that mentality going in with the big lead in the second half. They got pass happy. So
that last run play, it's such a tough call. I think they're down on the 2, and the first 2 plays went absolutely nowhere. They looked terrible. Mm-hmm. And I think he just felt like this Niners defense is so good, condensed into where they're at right now. Trying to pass the ball didn't look like it was getting anywhere. Maybe we can sneak this run in, but you have to get it. If you make that run, you have to get it, because then you're fully dependent on an onside kick. Yeah. So that was the killer. That ended the game. But at the same time, you're down 10 with a minute left or something.
The game was over.
It was going to be difficult regardless. They hadn't shown any sign of being able to stop them in the second half.
Yeah.
So even if they got the touchdown and got the ball back with 3 timeouts, McCaffrey's probably running that out for a first. You know what I'm saying? They really blew it well before that point.
True indeed.
It was sad. It was sad to see them crumble so badly.
They crumble so bad.
Oh yeah, like I don't know at what point.
Halves. Well, both games was like that. 2 completely different halves.
It was. Look, let's be real about it. I fuck with Brock Purdy, but that's a lucky motherfucker, man. I mean, that's a lucky son of a bitch.
It seems like he gets lucky so often.
He a lucky motherfucker,
no disrespect.
Man. It really is. Like, come on, the 50-yard pass to Brandon Ayuk.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that was nuts.
You read the box score on that.
Quarter, I saw about 5 plays that didn't make any sense.
Oh,
that didn't make any sense at all.
To Jennings, where Brock Purdy is scrambling to the right.
Yeah, he just
throws it. Just a lot.
Oh man, one-handed that joint. What the fuck is going on?
First down.
That was fire.
You were like, oh man, this dude.
That was the one. The AU one and that one. I was like, oh, this shit is done. It's over with. They catch a pass like this.
Yo, this dude really got a fucking horseshoe up his ass. Because come on, this is not good quarterback play. It's just a guy that's getting lucky.
Passes off helmets. I know too far and well how that shit goes. It's over with. Right. This is not going. It's over with.
Shout out David Tyree.
Once those plays start happening,
just call
you've lost all momentum.
It's like when Edelman caught it and barely touched the ground. He called it. Like once you do that, you know it's a wrap.
Clearly, the spirits are on that side.
The time is on your side right now. The football guy is fucking with you
for sure.
Y'all know Bomani Jones. Mm-hmm. ESPN dude.
Yeah. I know Bomani.
He used to always say this, and I saw a clip of him saying it right after this game. He's always talking about in these big moments, certain players get what he calls the lemon booty.
Yeah.
Them assholes pucker up real tight, and they just can't handle the big moment. And in my opinion, like the Dan Campbell stuff, you can make a lot of questions about his decisions and all that, but to me, the players got some serious case of lemon booty, son.
They did.
In that second half, once the momentum turned, Gibbs with the fumble, that dude getting hit in the face for the Ayuk 50-yard pass, that's an interception. That's an interception. That probably changes the game. Yeah. Gibbs doesn't fumble. That changes the game. Reynolds dropped multiple passes in the second half that were like 3rd down conversions, the 4th down one. Like, those players very clearly got the momentum took over.
Can't stand Josh Reynolds because he usually makes a lot of those catches throughout the
does,
season. He's
bro.
always there, wide open to catch them.
Yes.
catches. So the fact that he won't catch them this game, the most important game, was like, see.
Yeah, that's not the
what
guy
I'm
you
just
want
like,
to trust.
see, y'all keep trusting this motherfucker now, and now y'all in a tight situation. And he fucking up.
It was brutal.
Get the fucking ball to Amon Ra.
But y'all remember how their season ended last year with the Packers?
Not vividly, no.
They were going into the last week of the season, and the Lions needed multiple teams to lose, and they had to win to get into the playoffs. Whoever they needed to lose won right before their game. So they're playing the last game of the season, and it didn't matter. But they knocked the Packers out of the playoffs, and it was just like that so close to making the playoffs kind of thing. And they showed the kind of heart that they had, went out and did their thing. It reminds me that like this is the year where everybody thought they were good, but they weren't really expected to be the second best team in the NFC.
Right.
And they made that big jump and it came this close to being in the Super Bowl. NFL can change on a dime at any point in time. There's no telling if they make it back. I thought that was cool that they acknowledged that. But you have to see the progression. I'm really hoping they make that next step next year. Panthers aren't going to be it, so I might as well have the Lions be the best team in the NFC.
Do you think I think Goff is good enough, but do you think he's good enough to win a Super Bowl or to take a team to a Super Bowl?
Yes.
I think
He's already taken a team to the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's a good
Took the Rams to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I mean,
I don't feel like he holds them back.
That was a superstar team, though. I mean, that Rams team.
They were loaded, and he didn't do anything in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he was awful. He was awful.
I don't think
nobody did.
Yeah, no, literally
Worst
nobody.
game
Either team.
you've ever seen. Yeah,
I don't think he holds them back from being a Super Bowl team,
No.
but they are going to have to pay him. I think this year, if I remember hearing that correctly,
Pay him.
where they have to.
Yeah, pay him.
But that's where it starts to get dicey on building the rest of the team and stuff. Luckily, they've got a ton of rookies, so hopefully they can still make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, I like Goff, but he's just one of those quarterbacks that are really good as far as throwing the ball in the pocket. You get him on the move, you probably gonna have a good day. So
You can say that about a lot of quarterbacks.
yeah, right. You got to pay him, and I mean
That's the way you affect any of them that's like that.
clearly a top. I don't know, what 12 guy, top 10 ish.
Probably top
I give
10.
him top 10.
I would imagine.
This season for sure.
I think the bigger concern is his numbers on outside of the dome. He's got some of those really bad splits inside of a dome.
That dome shit.
I mean, but Jared Goff is a motherfucker you could look at and be like, he wouldn't play well in cold weather. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come
California
on.
boy.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, this was the year. He could have played the Super Bowl in Las Vegas and been in a warm city. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's kind of funny that we really didn't talk about the Niners at all.
We did. We straight off the lines.
I mean, they were supposed to be here. They were the team that from week 3 in the season or something was like, they're the best team in the NFC for sure.
Yes,
Maybe
last season, everybody thought they would be right back where they are.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
I was shocked at how the game was going to start. Like from a Niners perspective, like I'm like, hey, there's no way they're going out like this. They just getting trounced. Like
they looked lost.
Yeah, it wasn't close at all. But I mean, they picked it up in the second half and
They're just
got the ball to the
too good of a
playmakers.
team all around that you could ever count them out, even if they going down like that. They're just too good on all sides of the ball.
So many weapons.
So it's like any given time, a defense gonna make a big play, or you got so many guys on offense that can make a big play.
You know what this postseason really exposed to me though, like I know that we've said this before. It's not like any big reveal. The Niners are really they're an excellent team because it exposed to me how average Brock Purdy is. Like most of these games, he's had like some extreme struggles. Like I know he's pulled it out at the end, but there's been a lot of points in the games that we watched to be like, oh, this dude, he gotta sucking it up a little bit on this series. You know, like, oh, he doesn't look great. Like he's not the perfect passer that you had seen at spots early on. I mean, we were talking about this dude in MVP conversations at one point during the season. And stuff like that. But I think the postseason kind of exposed that he's just he an average player, or he really a step above a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo, which is great. I mean, he's a good player, but I mean, you know, he's really not in that top quarterback conversation.
It's hard to call with him
I don't think anybody has an accurate evaluation.
It's no accurate
hard,
thing
yeah.
you can say
Nobody
about
has.
it because it's like they keep winning, they back in the same position
Probably
he
won a
was
Super
last
Bowl.
year.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
They might, probably win a ring.
and it's the guys that like him defend him so hard because there's a lot of hate against him.
It's somewhere
They
in the
define
middle,
him
man.
so hard that they talk about him as if he should be in the conversation for top 3, which is absolutely insane.
Right.
Richard Sherman and Acho will have you believe that he might be the greatest quarterback of all time. And then the guys that you listen talk about him as if he's the worst quarterback and he would be garbage if he didn't have all these weapons. I don't think that's true either. I really don't know how to evaluate
no
him.
extreme. I mean, that team is so good in all different ways that it's like, at the end of the day, the quarterback is still the most important piece. So even how great they are, like you said, when he went down and I don't know who came in last year when he got hurt.
Nobody.
No,
But it was like
CMC did.
yeah.
the whole team crumbled because he wasn't on the field. So it's like, obviously he has some type of staple with this team where they play well with him on the field. So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know how to call it.
Was it like Josh Johnson?
Yeah, but then he ended up getting hurt too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild. Bro.
He's an anomaly.
It's
bro.
a tough eval because
Well, you know what's the easy
I
part
do
of the
think he
eval?
wouldn't be as successful with not as good team.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, that's just what it is. This team is too good. But at the same time, he's good enough.
I just think it's somewhere in the middle.
To
It's
where
just
it's
like, all right, I honestly do believe he's closer to average than he is elite. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, he's a guy who can do what the team needs him to do, and he has some playmaking ability. Like, but
yeah, he does.
You know,
It seems like he'll make a couple of throws that are like, "Oh, that one could have been picked off," and then he's gonna put one in absolute perfect, this big of a hole to fit it in, and it's like, yo, that's an elite pass.
Yeah.
or
Like
he
you
just
say, it's so-
take off and fucking run. He'd be like, oh, that dude just bit the corner on
He's
the
kind of
motherfucker.
fast.
He kind of fast.
kind of
What
a
the
nice
fuck happened
move.
just
This
now?
motherfucker's moving a little bit.
I didn't think he was gonna get the edge. You know, like it was. He made some plays like that. That's like, all right, well, I just watched him throw a fucking duck. It don't even matter no more because he just made a play like that the next play. So it's somewhere in the middle. And I don't know when the full exposure is going to happen of Brock Purdy. It may not. He's a good player. He's a solid player, and they might not need a top 5 quarterback to be a Super Bowl, team or to win a championship.
Obviously.
Yeah, they clearly don't.
Obviously.
Or not to win a
Back to
championship.
back.
More
I
specific.
think the easy evaluation of him is that he is far exceeded expectations for a Mr. Irrelevant. So he's a fantastic draft pick. That's the easy part of the evaluation.
Oh yeah, easily right.
Never expect that he would do what he did with
You've
where he came
never
from.
seen a team swing and miss on a first round or a top 5 quarterback and make the Super Bowl years later and compete for a Super. You've never seen that before.
They traded so much to just waste that Trey Lance pick.
They did.
It's such a savior.
He
to
never
get him
actually
that
played
late.
any meaningful snaps for him.
I don't even know if he got a regular season snap.
I'm not sure. I can't
I
remember.
don't think so.
I saw a couple preseason plays. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's just great GM work right there. So
Yeah.
you got to give a shout out to was it Lynch, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, shout out to the Panthers because we have decided that we are modeling our organization after the 49ers.
Oh, yeah?
Y'all
Went and got some guy to be like, I don't even know what his fancy title is, but some guy that runs the salary cap for the Chiefs we just got. I like that. Signed, got the new GM, new coach. I just like hearing things that they're trying to do
coaches
things.
from where?
The Bucks.
The Bucks. Yeah,
Bucks OC.
yeah. We talked about that.
Yeah, I've been telling you guys that I'm all out on the Panthers. I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt anymore. Everybody's got to prove it. I'm not getting too excited about nothing. And then I watched like 1-2 minute video about Canales taking over and changing Baker Mayfield's career. And then he did the same thing with Geno Smith. I'm like, yo, we got the fucking guy. Panthers are back, baby.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be excited. The unknown is exciting.
Yeah, I'm fully prepared to have next year suck just as bad as this one. But I have bought back into having hope. I'm excited about the new hire. People seem to have nice things to say. We'll see what happens.
True.
Yeah, so a lot of interesting coaching moves around the league. Atlanta Falcons hired
They got
Raheem
the guy I
Morris.
wanted.
They got Raheem. He's the one.
I wanted Raheem
one.
Morris.
Yeah.
And I'm so easily swayed by anybody that says anything nice about a coach. They had that clip of like the Rams GM like giving his full support to Raheem Morris and was talking about like this is
Every
a
time
man
I heard anybody
that
talk
changed
about him, they give him the highest praise ever. So
You
he's
seen
obviously a good
the
coach.
pivot interview with Mike Tomlin?
Yeah.
And Tomlin was like, I know Raheem Morris is one of the best coaches in all of football.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a head coaching job yet. Like he was adamant. I've never seen any, Tomlin give that, that kind of praise to, an opposing
Anybody
coach or
talk
anything
about
like
players,
that. So,
coaches, anybody, he gets real high praise.
I was super
good he got that
bummed
spot.
to see him go to Atlanta. But
I mean, that's a great spot for a coach. I think you're a
Hell
quarterback
yeah.
away from in Atlanta. I think,
I think they were the second best job available.
what was the first?
Chargers.
Chargers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big hardball, we're getting that.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
You said they're a quarterback away.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think
for
so.
sure.
They got so many weapons,
That's
which is why I was going to make fun of you about Arthur Smith. I know that they don't have the quarterback, but it's always felt like the Falcons have so many offensive weapons and they just don't do anything. So seeing him sign as OC, I was like, fuck the Steelers.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
because he's shit.
well, I
hate him.
don't think that. I don't
As
know.
a gambler,
I think, yeah, probably so.
Yeah, I don't
think
really
it's
his
just,
best guys.
I think everybody, I mean, and that's why, everybody wants to go out here and sign the next whiz kid and stuff like that. But everybody's not doesn't have the mental fortitude to be a head coach. Some guys are just good at the X's and O's and calling plays and shit.
Yeah.
And not running both sides of the ball, worried about special teams, worried about clock management.
Yeah.
Shit like that. I mean, it might be outside of his realm. He might have been like, man, you know what? Fuck this shit. I want to take a step back and just start calling plays again. Because he was successful. You got to think it was a reason why he got a head coaching job to begin with. He was a good offensive coordinator.
Where was he from?
With the Titans. So that's when Derrick Henry had the 2,000-yard seasons.
Oh, that's even more crazy because he's the one that used to always take out Bijan. I mean, I don't know if it was coming directly from him.
Yeah.
But it's the biggest complaint that I always had with the Falcons and seemed to be is like they continue to throw Algier out here in moments that seem perfect for Bijan. But
yeah.
I didn't
draft
realize
Kyle Pitts and treat him like a third stringer.
Yeah. Very
Stupid.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's just because, I mean, he had some really, the Tennessee's offense was really good. They were ranked like top 5 the seasons that he was there. We're talking about Tennessee. Ron Tannehill had like 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, he got production out of it. So, and that's everything I think that the Steelers were looking for.
I seen some stat going off what you just said about people hiring an offensive coordinator. I think like out of like 100 or something, I forgot the numbers, but it was like mad offensive coordinators
Probably
get head coaching
75%.
jobs, and like very few with defensive coordinators that got head coaching jobs. And special teams was like 1 or somebody like that.
Joe Judge probably for special teams.
Joe Judge. It was Joe Judge. Long special teams comes to
What was Dable was the Bills' offensive coordinator, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to think.
What was the last defensive hire?
Texans and Jets are the two that I know immediately, and those are both
Raheem Morris is a
Niners
defensive guy, or is he offensive?
He's defensive.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Salah, whatever his name is, and D'Amico Ryans.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to be a Niners defensive coordinator if you're going to be a head coach.
Right. Yeah, that'll get you a job. Yeah. And it's like they got the most elite players.
That's
It's wild.
It's not like your scheme got to be
trying to
great.
switch it up. Like everybody is trying to have the best offenses. It was like, why would you want to have one of the best defenses? Get you a guy that's going to make your defense.
I'm shocked that Vrabel hasn't gotten a job. That's the one that I thought is nuts.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I know you were wanting to talk about Belichick.
I was about him, man. I don't think Bill's going to get a job.
I don't either.
I think he's going to be forced to retire.
Yeah, I think he got froze out.
Yeah. I don't look like nobody is seeking to get him. And maybe all that hype that people was talking about when we let him go was just a bunch of bullshit like I thought it was in the beginning. Like, nobody wants Bill to be the head coach.
I don't see
I think he's aged out.
why. Yeah, I mean, I don't get why a team would be attracted. I get that you it's a legendary coach, but we're talking about it. Who knows how long Bill Belichick is going to coach for? How old is this motherfucker?
Yeah, he's up there.
Well, you could die on the job, with like realistically. So
That's wild.
I don't know.
That's true.
It's true.
You're not wrong.
I don't know if I want to invest in that as an owner. Like, you got to be smart. Like, the Atlanta Falcons, if I go pick the guy, again, I mean, he has the resume, but I might only get, 2-3 years out of it, and it's certainly not going to be the best years. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
don't even think of it as far as like how long you gonna coach. I think they have a real fucking young team. And why would you bring one of the oldest coaches that still be in the league to coach this real young team? It just didn't make sense to me.
I mean, not every roster is real young though, and it's like guys in
all their
entertainment.
stars are young.
Yeah, for sure.
I think these last couple of years really did a damage on him as far as his reputation is concerned.
It did.
Not that people don't think he's a great coach, but I think there's a really negative connotation that he needs to be in charge of everything. Yeah. And when you look at what has happened since Brady left, there's just a lot of personnel stuff that people are like, we're not giving you full control of our team. Yeah. And I don't think he has any interest in just being just the head coach that doesn't get to have input and stuff like he should. So I think it's just a butting of heads that he wants too much power. They don't want to give
the coordinator thing. Like his offense hasn't been good since Brady left. So a lot of guys want offensive minded coaches. Right. You're not going to bring in a defensive minded coach to be a part of your team when you have a good offensive player.
Especially when it's shown that he can't really. I mean, he failed at developing his most recent quarterback, and his offensive plan was trash when it came to that. Hey, look. Come to Pittsburgh, be a senior defensive assistant. Now, I mean, we need a guy like that. Like, that would be great for him. I mean, I'm sure he probably has bigger plans, but just to sit on one side of the ball, and I mean, that's got to be, minuscule to him. Like, I'm only worried about planning the defense. This week he'll fuck some teams up.
I wish we had did that, but obviously I feel like him and Kraft was splitting, had some issues, so he didn't want to do that with them. But if he does go somewhere, somebody should definitely hire him as defensive coordinator. Yeah, like it just makes sense. Like why not?
I wonder if he is willing to do that.
Probably not.
Because I think the only reason he would want to stick around at his age is to get that coaching record. Yeah. Like he's really close to the wins record.
He is.
And if you're not going to give him a head coaching job, then what am I out here for?
All right, true indeed.
Thoughts on the Harbaugh hire for the Chargers?
Looks great.
They're going to be getting a lot of Super Bowl bets for next year.
Of course.
I think rightfully so. I respect him as a coach. I think he has proven that he knows what he's doing.
True.
And we've all said it for 3 or 4 years now that their team is far too talented to not be winning more games. I think this is the answer.
Yeah, I mean,
looks good. I want to see it. We got to see it. You always got to see it.
Right. And I mean, he's been out of the NFL for a while, but clearly a guy who knows how to coach football, won a national title, competed in a Super Bowl in the NFL. It's not too many coaches that can say that. Just Pete Carroll?
Just Pete Carroll.
Is that it?
That's it.
Saban never had a run in the NFL. Successful?
Not that I know. Not that actually. I know he even played no Super Bowl, like coaching a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think his record really sucked in the NFL. So
yeah, like some losing records. So I mean, he obviously knows football. Somebody has to get the best out of Justin Herbert. If it's not him, then you got to have serious questions about Justin Herbert going forward too.
This is going to be a big year for him.
I mean, it has to be.
A big year in the sense that he's never going to not be considered probably like around the top 10. But if he doesn't take that next step where we kind of all expected him to be.
I said this last year.
They got to make the playoffs.
People are going to start looking at him pretty negative.
Yeah, I mean, you got to make the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, at this point, especially if we're going by Lamar criteria, he has to win some playoff games. Upcoming fast, or this dude's a bust.
He could just get into the playoffs and not suck inside of them. But, I digress.
Yeah, possibly.
Ben Johnson, going back to the Lions, I thought it was pretty fucking interesting today. He's been the number one name that every team that had a head coaching job.
He did that last season too.
Yeah. I think he's I think he's really smart. I think he's smart in what he's doing. I believe him in his reason. He said he wants to come back and take one more shot at bringing a title to Detroit. I believe that's really true.
Or you don't want a shit job in Washington and ruin yourself.
But he could, he could go anywhere though. He could take the Seattle job if he wants it.
But from the talks I've been hearing, the lock was for him to get the Washington job, and I'm sure people in Seattle probably
those are only 2 jobs left.
That was the one that he was linked to. I'm just saying, I don't think he had. I think he had any option he wanted. So I don't think like getting stuck in a bad position. I think he really wants to finish his job in Detroit. And if you are the top name for the past 2 years, like he can kind of just call his shots.
Yeah, you can.
He could have asked for any dollar amount he wanted this year. Like he has all of the power. And you can make the case that you run the risk of losing it if they have a really bad season this year or something. But I think it's pretty cool to see.
You're still the OC for the Lions. You know what I'm saying? Like
37 years old to be in full control is pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's interesting. I mean, I like it. I think it's a lot of guys who bounce around a little too much. You know, they have one season as a coordinator. All of a sudden, they know something about coaching a whole fucking football team.
Right.
And then those are the guys who be flaming out. I mean, it can happen either way. I know. I'm not sure how much like experience a guy like McVay had or something before he took over, as far as being a coordinator and stuff like that. And a lot of these younger, coordinator or head coaches nowadays either. So. But I respect it, staying with a team. You built something there and you guys, I mean, it looks good. So, I mean, why would you just want to up and leave? That's my issue with like a lot of college coaches and shit. It seems like they build something and it's like, oh, this is a decent product and you can stay here and you'll be the fucking man. And then you'll fucking uproot. Yeah. Motherfuckers to do that shit for money.
College especially, and the contracts they're offering up. Big money. Fuck building up Central Florida.
But somebody like Ben Johnson, like you said, he could demand it any kind of dollar amount that he wanted to, but it's a loyalty aspect where it's like, the money don't move me. You got to respect that.
Yeah, that's another point that I credit to Dan Campbell, because
the culture.
You're not going back if that's not an environment that is not like instilled loyalty in you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That should trump all at the end of the day. You got a good environment, good organization. Everybody fucks with each other. Everybody got cohesiveness with each other. Like, I'm going to stick with this for a little bit longer, bro.
And they probably
go in and try to build some other organization.
Right. I mean, but you go into these places, I'm not saying Seattle's one of those places, but the Commanders where it's like, man, the head coaches has been here. It seemed like the motherfuckers couldn't wait to get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? The last few.
They got new ownership, though. I think that's a big difference in Washington. But I still I agree with what you're saying. And
it's been a shit show.
Panthers' job. I mean, look, the Panthers have wanted him. David Tepper has wanted this guy for 2 years. And he's not a moron. He's not signing up for that dumb shit. He could have got $15 million a year from Tepper. I guarantee it.
And
he's not signing up for that nonsense. He's like, I'm in Detroit having the time of my life. The whole city loves us. Got a great coach, great owner. Well, I'm going to sign up for this circus act.
That's true.
The Seahawks, Chargers, Falcons were the three jobs that I feel like were like sitting there ready to rock. You go take over and you could really
and then you'll fuck around and again ruin your career over what you thought was the next step in your career would set you back. And this motherfucker's like a Cliff Kingsbury or something. I know he's probably still interviewing for jobs and stuff, but his name has lost that.
There's a little stink on it now.
His name's lost that lust. You know what I'm saying? Like that they have for, Cliff Kingsbury, he does this with your. Nobody's looking for that shit anymore.
It's hard to get that stench off.
It is.
And so once you have one of those stints, man, with a bad organization, that can kill it. So you got to choose wisely. And that's why, again, don't just take the next job that's available or the motherfucker who's throwing money at you, Work environment means a lot.
It does. It does.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I think that's it for football. Obviously, like I said, we'll get into next week doing a little Super Bowl previews and stuff. But any basketball things you wanted to get into before we basketball, music, whatever you want.
Wow. Basketball shit I got. Oh, just that Curry shit. I think it was a couple weeks ago. He was on the sideline talking to one of his teammates about, Sabrina. What's the last name?
Ionesco.
Ionesco. Yeah, that's how you spell it. How you pronounce it. Talking in the conversation. I feel like it's kind of odd. I like how fast they came over. Like, we're gonna do this in the All-Star game this week, this year or whatever. It's like because he was just saying it on a whim, like while he was mic'd up to one of his teammates, and then literally 2 weeks later, now it's gonna be a part of the All-Star game. But anyway, they're gonna have a 1-on-1 3-point matchup against him and Sabrina. For all the marbles of who's the greatest 3-point shooter of all time, I guess. Who y'all think's gonna win?
Who cares? I don't give a shit. She's shooting at the WNBA range with WNBA basketballs. Yo, man up. Make this even.
She's supposed to like
we handicapping this shit. For she get a couple extra points to start. I don't care about this at all. I think the reaction that clip got on social media, they said, "Oh, people really like that idea." And in all honesty, like not doing the old man thing. It's the NBA All-Star Weekend. Whatever you can do that'll entertain fans, whatever. If people want to see this, then they should do it.
It's funny how they jumped to that, but they still ain't implemented that one-on-one shit yet.
I don't think the players...
Motherfuckers are scared of that shit, boy. They're scared of that smoke.
I don't think the players want to do that for real.
Somebody want to do the 1v1s.
You can't do that half-hearted. That's going to turn into a battle.
Exactly.
And,
that's what will make it crazy.
That's what we want to see.
That's what will make it crazy.
They're not risking that. They're not risking that, bro.
That's wild.
That's the pussy mentality that LeBron has established in the league, though.
Oh shit!
Of not wanting to be embarrassed.
I think it's a business thing more than that.
It's the pussy mentality that LeBron has established. I haven't seen this level of bitch assness until LeBron came in the league.
Dunk contest.
The dunk. I hadn't seen this level of bitch assness until LeBron came into the league, and it's just permanent. It's like it's going through everybody now. Like,
that's pretty heavy.
We need a motherfucker like Anthony Edwards to step back up and say, no, we doing this king of the court shit.
Let's go.
Bitch, meet me in the middle of the court and try to guard me one-on-one. We need that energy in the league.
I'm with that energy. Like, I want the fucking one-on-ones to happen. Like, they should have been and put that shit in. But I don't think you could put this on LeBron. You gotta put it on motherfuckers making too much money, bro.
Yeah, I think
motherfuckers making too much fucking money. Like, when we came up, the people that did the dunk contest and shit like that, it was younger guys. You weren't having the top guys in the league performing these things. It was always rookies, sophomore guys, or guys that's just coming up on their ride.
Like Kobe and Vince Carter.
It was great.
Kobe was a rookie or a second-year player.
I mean, if that's the case, that's the case. I don't know.
Again,
Jordan he wasn't like 2 or 3 years in the league when he did
but now the young guys don't do it anymore because the young guy LeBron didn't do it.
Young guys making too much fucking money out the gate.
Nah, I think LeBron, bro.
It's LeBron.
But the dunk contest isn't really like, that's not a real injury risk.
It's not.
They do that in warm-ups. The one-on-one thing, you can make an argument. Like, yeah, I'm making $45 million. I'm not out here turning my ankle trying to guard
brands.
Kawhi.
Everybody got a brand. Everybody got their own shoe.
Oh, but that's the LeBron mentality.
Anthony Edwards just got his new shoe. If he goes out there and gets worked by, I don't know, fucking Devin Booker, go crazy on him, that's going to fuck his brand up. Right?
That's Charles' point, though.
Yeah, but I agree. I feel like they should do it. But I'm just thinking of a mentality.
Don't forget when LeBron got dunked on by the high schooler. You can't even find that video no more. They wiped that shit from the internet so motherfucking fast.
I forgot about that.
No, motherfuckers don't want to get embarrassed. Yeah. That's really what it comes down to.
That's true.
Motherfuckers don't. Tekashi 6ix9ine language. They don't want to let their nuts hang out here. You get what I'm saying?
You know who would compete in the one-on-one contest? I guarantee you Pat Bev will sign up.
Oh, big facts. I'm locking all y'all up.
I love Pat Bev. I'm fully changed on Pat Bev. I'm a Pat Bev fan.
They should just make it that. Like, just everybody against Pat Bev.
Yeah, he would be down. He'd be down, son.
All the best guards, just line them up.
He's scoring on me.
Let's get it.
I love that guy.
I mean, I would be entertained by that.
It would be incredible. It would be way better than the game.
Yeah, 10 times
facts.
Because like you said, you can't fake that kind of energy of like,
no, you can't bullshit around
to dominate your bitch ass.
You can't pass the ball off in a one-on-one. You got to lock up. It's just y'all.
Agree.
Make some shit happen, but you know.
Yeah, we want to see some motherfuckers really try to defend too. Like, you know, like that would be interesting because it's make it king of the court style. Like, the next bucket wins. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just it. So it's like, motherfucker, you ain't got no choice but to play defense and try to get the ball back. Because you can't let this motherfucker score. So
it'd be too much fun. Yeah, the whole NBA weekend stuff is, I don't have a lot of interest anymore. So if the people want to see this shootout, then cool beans. Let them rock out.
True indeed.
Some music?
New music.
No, I saw a decent amount of new music come out. I didn't listen to a lot of it, but I checked out some music videos, stuff like that. Where you want to start off?
This Lyrical Lemonade album, All Is Yellow, got a lot of heat on this album.
Yeah, I've liked a lot of
on this joint. Like a lot of these artists are real like younger artists of that generation, but it's some joints on here. Like
That Chief Keef joint was the one that I think I
Chief
like the
Keef
most.
and Yachty, that shit hard.
That was
That shit is
fire.
hard. Like I ain't gonna lie, that shit's hard. Tito Touchdown on there a few times.
Yep.
Did some good shit. They got that Dirk and Cuddy work. I seen that video they put out like it's probably like middle of last year.
Yeah,
That was a dope video. Putting out little singles and video. The video's been hard. Like the
That's what they
whole,
do.
like just the whole thing he got going on.
So I thought he had said before the album dropped that it was going, that obviously he was putting it out on the platforms and stuff, but it was going to play through like a full movie of all of the videos.
It
I
seems that
haven't
way.
seen that like presented that way yet.
Yeah.
All I've seen is the individual stuff, but I've watched a lot of like little interview parts with him talking about the album and just the concept of including, you know, keeping the yellow throughout everything, using the yellow tie
Everybody in
on
suits.
everybody. Yeah, it's just really cool little concepts to connect things.
Yeah, it's dope.
I just really appreciate the
effort.
the detail he
Yeah,
puts in. Yeah, the effort that he really is like artistic type dude. I really like that guy.
Yeah, he really put this shit together. Like you can tell he really loves this shit like from the ground up, like every bit of it, that he wants to actually culminate an album together, shoot all the videos and have everybody appear in it. Like it all makes sense to me. And it looks fly. All the videos look fly. I fuck with that shit. The that Jack Harlow single with Dave that dropped it like a couple months ago, that
I
shit's
like
on
that song.
there. It's some hard shit on there. But the big highlight that everybody keeps talking about is the fucking Eminem diss.
Oh, really? I
Eminem
saw,
dissing Benzino from a 20-year-old beef.
yeah,
I didn't see that.
I heard about it, but
It's weird.
because he mentioned something about doing a song with Coil Ray.
Yeah, he said, what's the opposite of Benzino's neck? He said a giraffe or something like that. It was just like a bunch of like weird lines that he put together. But it was like,
I didn't hear this song at all.
it's odd. Cause it's like, yo, Eminem, why is you putting out a diss track to Benzino in 2024? A lot of people probably don't even remember that y'all even had a beef, first of all. A lot of people probably don't even know who the fuck Benzino is.
Shit, a lot of
I
people
mean,
don't
when
know
was
who
the last-
Eminem is
When
anymore.
was the last time motherfucker like Eminem was rapping and wasn't dissing somebody? Like that's his rap style. He gonna talk shit about somebody.
True.
Like that's my rap style. That's what I do.
I'm like, you trying to shoot him some bail.
I'm not
There's
saying
no
it's
reason
great.
in the world
Well, no,
for
I
him to
think-
be
yeah,
dropping a diss track.
but no,
to
I
That's
think
what he's
Benzino.
always done.
Yeah,
though.
I
It's just
think
Eminem.
I think it's corny at this point, but he does. I mean, he does continue to rap about stuff that like he mentioned Kim Kardashian like so late into some of this discography. It's like, yeah, it's just wild. He just continues to bring her up. He just never seems to let shit go. I do think it's dumb. I think
It's weird though. I mean,
I just don't want to hear Eminem anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down
odd.
that wave of Eminem.
I haven't even heard it.
it's
I
not-
wasn't even interested.
It's almost
I
like
mean-
it's. I mean, I know it's rap, but it's almost just like it's not rap anymore. It's like a different genre.
It's homework.
Almost, yeah. It's like
Yeah, it's a lyrical exercise.
I'm
That's
trying
what it
to
is.
keep up
It's a
with what
fucking
you're
lyrical
saying,
exercise.
Yeah.
and it's like the flow to me. I just it doesn't resonate anymore. It's
No.
What y'all used to say about Wayne like 2 or 3 years ago is how exactly I've been feeling about Eminem for at least the
Sure.
last 8 years.
yeah, sure. I would agree
think
with
it's
that.
valid. Yeah.
He's
It's like my
falling
dog,
into that
like-
pocket now, where it's like
It's getting egregious, like how untapped in you are.
Even when he's tried, there's been a few songs where he like seemed like he was trying to have it be more meaningful, where he's not just rapping random words, but the style that he raps in now, I just don't like it anymore. There's just too much of trying to flex the lyrical
Well,
skill.
what happened to? I mean, he used to have like variants. It used to be, you know, he comes with this lyrical assassination type shit, but then he'll come with a song like just a motivational type song, like "Lose Yourself" or fucking I don't know, like "Toy Soldiers" or something, where it's like you ain't doing all of this rapidy rap type shit. It's just I'm just spilling my life and the shit's just dope. What happened to that Eminem? I don't know.
But I think his life is boring now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
sure,
doesn't
he
have
had
any
that drama.
issues.
He's no longer on
He
the
doesn't
come
have
up.
any
He doesn't
issues.
have the
I
drum. He
think,
doesn't have the drugs.
yeah.
Like all the things
Right,
that he
right.
had to defeat,
Yeah.
he defeated.
After that recovery album, it was downhill.
That might
Once
be
he
it.
recovered,
He recovered.
Once he recovered,
He fucked up.
It was
and then
over.
went to rehab. That's what it is. Rehab ruined
I think
Eminem.
it's recovering and like you said, like it's out of touch. Like he got better and he didn't want to continue to be a part of society, which I respect.
yeah.
But it does just make it disconnected where like the only thing you rap about is how good you rap.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like, yeah, we know.
But-
No doubt.
Yeah, we get it. Yeah,
Bet.
That's Mossa style right there.
I don't know what
That
that
real
means.
old school 80s
I mean,
style
he's
rap.
going back. He's
Suck it. Bring him back. Suck it.
That's
MC.
MC.
This is trash. That's your guy. That's your guy. Your guy, Big Eminem. But
Hey, you're a legend in this shit. I'll give him that.
but off that great album, Lyrical Lemonade, love what they doing over there. Shout out to them. But the Benny album though,
Yeah.
The Butcher's back. Everybody Can't Go.
Everybody.
His
can't
first
go.
album as being signed to Def Jam, I believe. First album being signed to them. This shit hard.
Yeah.
It's half and half produced by Alchemist and Hit Boy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
That's
they
rough,
they
man.
both, went in on all these 12 tracks. And it's dope because Benny's still giving you them Alchemist records where he's giving you to it with the crazy gritty ass beats, and Hit Boy's hitting you with them superb production beats that just hit crazy. Of course, all Hit Boy beats sound different, so it's a good blend of both worlds for Benny. You can see he's trying to get off of that straight Alchemist beats, but I heard him talking about the album. He's like, I wanted to give people like the best who I've done the best work with. And that's been Alchemist and Hit Boy. Like he's done his best projects with both of them, I believe. And that shit's fire, bro. He got some crazy records on this joint. Like that joint with the Big Timers joint I like is called Big Timers featuring Peasy. That beat hard. That shit is hard. He actually put like a little dope hook that you don't really see Benny do a lot of hooks and shit. The hook is kind of hard to me. He got a dope joint with Snoop on there called Back Again. That shit crazy. Throughout the whole album, I'm just like, yo, Benny evolving a little bit.
Yeah.
You can see the evolution a little bit. He's not staying in just that little box that the Griselda gang does. And I think it's hard. It's hard.
I definitely want to listen. I like Benny a lot. I always have. When I first got into him and he was doing the Alchemist style stuff, I liked his rap so much that I was down with that.
Yeah.
Once he did the Hit Boy album, I prefer those beats so much more.
Yeah.
That I don't appreciate the old Benny as much on those Alchemist style beats. But I'm interested to hear a mix of both.
Yeah.
I just think his rapping is so good. When you put him in with Hit Boy, it's like really great music to listen to. I kind of feel like that homework aspect when it's the really grimy, slow beats, and I'm just listening to how hard he raps, which is cool, but it's not something
Which
I'm
was
in the
meant
mood
for.
often.
Those songs with them beats is you want to hear these bars on this joint. So
Yeah, for sure.
that makes
Don't be
sense.
singing on that shit.
Yeah, it ain't
I'm
for
with
you be, this beat hard. No, them bars is crazy on this shit. Like,
Yeah.
but the album hard though. I fuck with it. Got Stove God on there. Of course, we heard that joint with Wayne, that Big Dog record. That shit crazy. And of course, we got a record with the whole Griselda on there. West Side, Conway.
So,
That shit crazy. But yeah,
can keep the baby face
I'm
right.
fucking with it.
Do your thing.
That joint with Jadakiss, that shit is actually hard.
Yeah?
I know you don't fuck
You
with
think I like it?
Detroit guys, but I think you would like that album. It's a
Okay.
Hit Boy produced joint,
Okay.
but that shit hard. Jada went crazy for real. I think Jada's verse
I
on it
expect
was
that.
nuts. But that shit's pretty hard. And Babyface Ray, he ain't rapping like he would usually rap. He was kind of trying to give you some flow on there a little bit. It wasn't like
Good.
he was rapping on a Detroit sounding beat. It was a Hit Boy record, but that shit's hard though.
I'm with that.
Yeah, he did his thing. But we got rap beef, y'all.
Oh, before the rap beef, I only listened to like 2 tracks. I want to hear some more, but Gates dropped a new album.
Okay,
Oh,
he
yeah,
did.
yeah,
He
yeah.
did.
Always going to
He
check
did.
in on Gates. I've been seeing him making the rounds. I think Breakfast Club and $1 million worth of game.
Yeah.
Dog is just a weird dude, but when he puts out music, I usually like it. So I'm going to try.
Yeah, I mean, Gates can rap, man. I'm a huge fan. I haven't checked out the album, though, but I've heard good things about it.
I like the concept, the ceremony, and he's going around doing all the interviews with the tux on and stuff. I don't know. It's kind of
that's
seemed like
okay.
he's presenting more of a final evolved version of Gates, but I don't know for sure.
Hey, that single you put out with that T-Pain hook on it. T-Pain
I
sample.
don't think I caught that one
Shawty
yet.
sample.
Oh, I did actually listen to
Yeah.
that. I didn't
that.
love that.
Yeah, I ain't like it too
Nah,
much.
I didn't watch that.
It's
I
kind of
haven't seen that yet.
it's kind of
Not the best
It's
flip.
a single for the
Yeah.
album.
But rap beef.
Yeah.
Rap beef has been popping off. I've been seeing it everywhere.
Female rap beef.
I saw it so much that I actually went and listened to the songs.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was going on for like 3 or 4 days. Like, well, one side was going on for like 3 or 4 days.
Non-stop.
Man, the female rap beef is nonstop, man. They're all at war with each other. They can't get along.
Well, female rap beef is different than like the male rap beef to me because it's like they way more catty. Like they trying to cut deep. Like they trying to hit you. They talking about your family,
Go
your
straight
moms,
to dead mothers.
like all that. Like it's like, yo, that shit crazy.
I think
Chicago
male
stuff.
rap beef can go to those places as well, but I think it's just more
like the
petty
young
of
woman.
why the rap beef starts. Like a male rap beef, that should really be over something normally, like, or you would think. Female should just be because their fan base said that they were better than you. You know what I'm saying? It's some weird shit like that. Like it's nothing that really
Females are
transpired.
catty.
It's just females that can't handle the fact that somebody is in the same realm that they're in or exist in the same space that they can because they think their ego's so big that they think they're this.
Look, I got to be honest. The more we talk about this, the more I think this is exactly the same as male beef.
Yeah, I think it's.
I got to be honest.
on both sides.
I don't think we made a very good case that it's not.
Yeah,
All
kinda
this
the
stuff
same.
is all this
Motherfuckers
stuff.
get shot over male rap beef a lot of the time. But
But
it's
one of
not
them did get
happening.
shot.
Who?
Man,
It wasn't over no beef though. That was different. I'm talking about like
I don't think
shit really happens to maybe that transpired in the street or somebody was actually wronged in some way for
Most
this
male
beef to
beef
start.
is either over money, ego, or a girl. It's usually what it comes down to.
I think that's true, but we've sat here and talked about a whole bunch of male beefs that they're on Instagram Live doing dumb shit back and forth, and it's like, oh, you heard a song in the back of this dude's live, and that I don't think it's that much different.
Yeah, I mean, all right, yeah, I mean, because a lot of these
It's so
males
silly.
Let me
go ahead.
preface.
Go ahead.
A lot of them are bitches. They are bitches too. So that's why we get into this. But real, like, I'm thinking of more traditional rap beef where the shit used to come out on a fucking DVD and you learn that Ja Rule and 50 Cent got into a fucking knife stabbing brawl in the studio.
Yeah, he sounds like the old guy now.
Old man over here. I'm trying to steal your swag.
I'm talking about DVD beef. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, really, I'm talking about them DVDs
What was
from
it called? Beef?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was called Beef. Rap Beef. or whatever.
fantastic ones.
That shit was awesome.
D12 versus Eminem.
That's the shit that
the
I
Voice of 5'9" origin story.
That was the beef that I'm thinking of, not this modern Instagram shit. That's all for bitches. So like they fall into the women category once they start doing this shit.
But that's what it does now. That's where we're at now.
Yeah, sure.
I listened to the joints yesterday.
Yeah.
Megs goes hard. I thought her song was fire. As much
was a
as I
better
can
song.
say that about the female rap songs. Nicki's was beyond horrible.
That was
I heard people
it
talking
might be
so
one of the
bad.
worst diss songs I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, that was the sentiment that I was seeing all over the internet, and I'm like,
It
all
was
right,
bad.
this is
What made
probably
it worse
exaggerated.
though is because she carried it for like 3 or 4 days before it dropped.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say that the song is 4 minutes.
No,
no
she
reason
didn't
at
She
all.
raps for 30
But she
seconds.
was talking about it, and I think what killed it for her, well, the song is terrible. But what killed it more is because she was saying shit that she was saying in the diss song on Instagram and on the internet
Right.
going live. Like you was saying your punches before you even heard them. Like you're supposed to save that for the song. Like you don't throw out your shots in an Instagram live and then we hear the song.
So
It's the
stupid.
same shit that you just said. We already know what it is.
And especially
It's no
the way
surprise no more.
she sounded like she was on drugs on the Instagram live. Like
I see a lot of people say
Oh,
that.
I didn't see the.
she's. I mean,
Well, she wasn't even on it. It was just on, like showing the
you know,
wall,
people.
and
Yeah,
she was
yeah,
talking.
yeah. And just saying random shit. Like a lot of the stuff, like you said, that she was
Right.
But it sounded like somebody that was malfunctioning. Like
I thought she
a
sounded
robot
like
that was broken down or something. Like it just a very strange sound, like just very repetitive. What she was saying, it sounded like a motherfucker was coked up.
she
You know
sounded
what I'm
like
saying?
she was on drugs on the song.
That's how she sounded on the live. Exactly how she sounded.
All right.
That schizophrenic type of.
This is wild.
You need help. Clearly,
Yeah, there's 4
Cut.
different voices like rapping back and forth to each other.
I'm fine with that because that's
that's her.
Nicki Minaj. That's what she does.
She's a character.
She's real
Pose.
animated on the microphone, and I like that as a rap style. But
bad.
I did not like anything that she did on the song in that regard because it's like, I don't know, it just didn't fit what she was trying to do. Like, you got to stay in attack mode on a disc record, and she worried about switching flows and, you know, I mean, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Like, at
She was mixed horribly.
It was mixed horribly.
It sounded like she just recorded it and put it right out.
And then some
no
of the,
mixing whatsoever.
Well, it was at one point, like, I mean, I get the lazy flow and stuff, but it just didn't even, it won't hit. Like, you switch the flow up, you got real lazy and like,
then started talking.
Relax with it. And then right after that, you started talking.
A long time.
No music.
There's got to be.
Nobody wants to hear that on the diss track, though. Do people know that?
No.
Nobody wants to hear about you talking. Like, we only want to hear bars on the
We
diss
heard you
track.
talk for 4 days straight on Instagram Live.
Right.
We don't want to turn on the song and hear you talk for the last 2 minutes of the
No
song.
good diss track is it has a bunch of talking. Like,
Well, there's one. And this is why everybody else does it.
Well, it's short and sweet.
Tupac.
Yeah. I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker.
That's not a lot of
But then the
talking,
beat came on immediately.
But then at the end, and he's like, "Oh, y'all got all y'all do is got sickle cell shit like this." Like, he started talking. I think that's why people think that they should do it. He did it hard on that one song, but either way, there's got to be something in between dissing your dead mother and saying you got a big foot. And you got the worst diss of all time and just the most unnecessary, like, personal shit. There's got to be something in between here that we could, like, make
lying on your dead mama, on your dead mama, lying on your dead. Like, what the fuck? Somebody should have snatched
It was almost like a spoof. Is this a joke?
Yeah,
Is this a fucking joke?
lying on your dead mama. Like, yo, at that point, once
It's
you
like
start saying,
it's like an SNL version of this song.
Scary
that-
movie. The scary movie. Hey,
let me talk to you real quick. Is this what you want to do? This
That
the
shit was
direction?
bad.
We
That
going
shit was
in?
really,
Come on, man.
really bad.
And I mean, you got to respond, I guess, at some point, because he did. Megan flamed her with the Megan Law bar. I mean,
That shit was
was
so
the one.
hard.
That
was the one.
flamed you. That is what it is.
That's a great bar.
That's a good bar.
Very simple, but very to the point. Everybody
It's all
knew
about
exactly
effectiveness.
what the fuck
It
he
doesn't
was
matter
talking
about
She's doing a research, son.
Yeah,
Reading textbooks.
Hey, that's fire, and that's how you got to attack Nicki, because that's, I mean, hey, that's a real deal thing. It's like, you married a rapist. Like, come on.
Tough one to come back from. That is a tough one to come back from.
I think that's why Nicki was acting how she was acting. That shit stung.
Oh,
that shit stung the fucking most.
For
But it's like, you know, you gotta know, you popping all of this shit on Instagram, or you with all the, somebody's gonna say that shit, because it's like, it's common knowledge, bitch. Like,
Yeah. Well,
you
Nicki
gotta
has
know
been,
that this
I
is
think
gonna happen.
a lot of her recent tracks, her singles that she had put out before the album or whatever, she was taking like little subtle shots at Meg.
Oh, yeah.
She was throwing little jabs here and there, little subliminal shots, but everybody knew who was directed at. And it was like, okay. So I guess Meg got fed up.
yeah, you can't
The
go
bullshit.
into beef when you got that kind of baggage. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, you should let
and
love.
think you about to win a rap battle, because you're like, the information that I have on you is just too critical. Like,
It's even worse because, you know, how when you see these
Better
rappers
lady
that are like legend, like Nicki's a legend. And you want to see them age gracefully. Like that last album she put out, like it was fire. She got a lot of high praise. It sold the most out of every Leafy by album of the year. She did all the numbers, even though when we had that debate, you was talking crazy. Like all these people were better. And she comes out, ain't dropped the album in 4 years and sells out more than everybody. But anyway,
there's some other statistics.
but after
around
doing
too.
that,
There's some other stats around that too
so
that are interesting
but
that show that
I was right.
it's not the height that you think it is.
At the right end of the day.
First
But
week
anyway.
streams. What songs do you hear today?
It sold.
All right.
That's all I'm
okay,
saying.
Whatever.
She
First
hadn't
week.
dropped and it sold.
All right.
But anyway,
About 10 more minutes left.
but you want to see
Just that far.
you want to see a legend of her category age gracefully. So after dropping that fire album, when people had counted her out, and she's showing that she can still make dope music and dope albums, to have this follow behind it, it kind of killed all that shit to me. Because it's like, dog, like if you so high on this pedestal, which you are, you got to start acting like it. Like, I understand she might have, Meg might have pissed you off, but you had been taking your shots. It'd be one thing if Meg had dropped this track out of nowhere and like nobody knew where this shit came from. You had been taking shots and then she put out a whole diss on you, dropped that Megan's Law bar, and now you in your feelings and now you on Instagram for the next 4 days trying to put together this song, and that was awful. It's like, dog, like at some point you got to act like you are the queen instead of acting like you wanted them other ones. And she ain't act like that.
And let's say when you do a diss record, and if you have to say on your diss record, like, oh, this just a start, don't make me go. No, you should have said that shit to begin with. Like, whatever you got in your back pocket, you don't hold on to that shit. You let it all go. Like, when a police officer pull his gun, he emptied the clip. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, I'm not waiting for you to pop back up. I'm leaving a dead body.
Should have learned this from Drake's Upset. He dropped that first diss track and
you
was
don't
like,
hold back.
I'd saved way too much and this one didn't hit. Then we got the back-to-back.
You gotta go ahead and hit them hard first.
Just too much talking.
Don't hold back.
Just too much talking.
What we doing teasers for? That's like somebody smacking you in the face and be like, oh, I'm gonna hit you with 75%.
Too much.
What I got.
There's more coming.
You don't want to know what's coming next, buddy.
Too much talking.
I think this might be the end.
Of what?
Nicki. I don't want to be over dramatic. I don't think like she's done making music. Her career is over with. But I think there was at least some talk of a decline just in the fact that she hadn't done a lot of music lately. And I think, like you said, when she put out the album and it did really well, I think that bought her some kind of credibility back or brought some extra time.
I'm back.
But I do kind of agree with what Carl said. Like, her songs don't have the same staying power that she used to have. So then when you have a misstep like this,
but yeah, you're right.
Sure. I think there's a big difference from Nicki now to 10 years ago. Like, the run is still clearly not the same.
Of course.
When you have a misstep like this, I think it just kind of lends yourself towards, there's a lot of other female rappers that are getting a lot of attention now.
And you know that because she's jealous. This is clearly jealousy.
Probably.
I mean, if you were really
It's jealousy.
This is jealousy, man. It is. And it's okay. Like, I get why you are, but at the same time, you had your time. You had your run. Let it go. She on the, again, I just think all of this stuff.
She's not showing the best side of her, but I don't know if it's jealousy because still nobody has touched anything that she's ever did. So it's hard to be, I don't see how you could be jealous when nobody has still reached
because these motherfuckers got the biggest egos in the world and they keep on thinking that their run will never fucking be over. But it's already over. You just got to accept it, saying, hey, I can still do this thing a little bit. It ain't going to be to the heights that I did it before. But, these people are going to be hotter than me at the moment. And I just got to worry about or cherish the things that I did for like the longevity of my career at this point. But you're not sparking that flame back up to the point that it was at. It's just not going to happen. Like these people are on the run now. That's just the facts of it. And it's like, you can do whatever you want. You can get on the stream with Kasana if you want to, but you're still going to me, you look like a 40-year-old woman out of her element. That's the facts. You got kids at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, you twerking on live right now?
I think you're trying to age shame, but it makes sense.
I'm just being realistic, brother. That's it. It's not age shame.
I'm with you. Age shame. Age shame. That's just
realistic of
certain things.
This motherfucker's fan base.
That was Kai's best stream he ever had. Was with Nicki. He had the most views he ever had.
I'm not saying
so it's just like it's still like
doesn't mean
it shows her presence still is felt on that level.
I think it shows desperation. That's all I think it is. It's like it's just strange behavior to me. Would you do that as a 40-year-old? You know what I'm saying? Like when you 40, is that what the platform you run into? I would feel like I'm above this at that point. And I wouldn't feel like I need to grab back to get some fans on my side.
But it's not like it's one of the biggest platforms to go promote your shit. It's not like low hanging fruit people go there to promote their shit. It'd be some of the biggest artists go to Kai and all these streamers or whatever, probably Kai mostly.
And a lot significantly younger than Nicki Minaj. I'm sure. That's really my biggest issue with it. It's not the promotion of the album. It's like, who are you promoting it to?
Well, I think it's similar. I mean, I don't think it's that much different than the criticism that Joe Budden was giving Drake.
Right.
Grow up, act your age, make music for the people that are your age. Like, I do think that's something that Drake would do. We would be like, team up with Kai. Sure. And if we did it, we'd laugh like, yo, this dude is just constantly trying to do whatever the youngest kids are doing. He hasn't officially been on Kai, but he calls in to Kai shit all the time, like being in the midst of it a little bit. And I think we show respect to some of the other people that don't chase after that. You're right about it being the biggest platform that somebody could get on. Right. But I think there's other artists that we look at that don't make those same type of moves. And it's like, it's dope that they don't do that. So I think it's fair to say it's
Teach his own.
it's a little
Sure.
weird that she does. But to wrap us up, the last final music thought I had here is I think my official retirement from hip hop has come with this new Ice Spice song that dropped. Do you know the title? Can you help me with the title?
You think you the shit? Fart?
Yeah. And the whole song is
parentheses.
you think you the shit, but you not even a
You
fart.
think you the shit, bitch?
that
You're
is
not
the
even a
song.
fart?
It
Really?
came out and I expected the entire internet to turn on this girl and be like, yo, Ice Spice is done.
They love Ice Spice.
And they love it. So I'm officially retired from hip hop. They've reached a point where I am no longer.
I haven't heard the song.
That shit is
Oh,
ass.
it is the worst song in the world.
And it don't stop. Like,
but it's not
the bars
about-
continue. It's
It's
like,
the worst song ever.
They
made.
are.
you
Nobody.
bitch is rich, but I'm richer. It was bars like that. It was
It's
like,
the
all right.
worst song ever made.
That's
So I'm
her.
I'm
Yeah,
retired.
that's her.
I'm retired from hip hop. I'll listen to the old stuff
But
that I
she's
like.
not employed to make good songs. She's
I don't
employed to twerk that fat ass on stage.
I don't care.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what she's employed for.
That I don't disagree. My retirement comes from the reaction of hip hop as a fan base. Obviously, this is the younger fan base, but they heard it and thought this is fire. So I'm out. That's my point.
I don't know if anybody thinks that, but they are under. I mean, you're serious brainwashing. At this point, so
Well, people don't buy in to the music; they buy into the artist. So a lot of people just fuck with Ice Spice. So whatever she does, they just fuck with, no matter if the music is good or if a song that they love or not.
Yeah.
They just buy into the artist because they like seeing her.
I mean, it's,
So that's what
I
it
think
comes down
you're
to.
right.
I mean, I don't want to listen to the song, but I want to watch the video. I'll tell you that. So she gonna get a view from me.
She was throwing it.
Can't even
You know
do
what I'm
that.
saying?
She was
Like,
throwing it.
Can't even do that anymore. I'm out. I'm retired.
Yeah, it's trash though. But,
You can listen
but
to
I
it
just
on
know, like,
I'm good.
I just know that some shit just ain't for me.
I'm aware.
That's my thing.
I'm
I'll just
aware.
draw a line. That's just not for me. I should never tap into that ever. I'm not even going to comment or critique. It's not worth a critique. It just is what it is.
I hear you.
They love that shit.
I mean, it's hard to listen to female rap to begin with. I don't know of any.
Nah. You listen to that. Listen to that and get back to me. This is different. It's different.
yeah,
the
it's
worst.
different.
This is the
Like,
worst ever.
I enjoyed listening to that Nicki album. I would not enjoy listening to Ice Spice. But, you know, that's just me.
We really got to wrap up here because it's time, and really getting a big boost from this software now that really helps make our sound a lot better. So we got to keep this at 2 hours. You got final thoughts for us?
No, not right now.
You got a dad joke for us?
Ooh, I might. Let me check in my... Oh, I think I might have used this one before, but I wrote it down again.
I like these.
What do you call a wreath made of $100 bills?
Aretha Franklin.
Yeah, I did use
Hell
that.
yeah.
Before.
That's okay. It makes me feel better to get them than to even be
Yeah, I
stumped.
think I
by.
used that one before, but it's still
like
a good one.
You got any final thoughts you want to share?
I started watching the new Griselda shit on Netflix. That shit is good.
Yeah.
Sofia Vergara.
I didn't even know that was her until I looked it up later.
You know that Sofia Vergara? You can tell by the face?
No, not by the picture. No, they fucked her face up.
I mean, it made her look like this is back in the 70s, but for sure. But she killing this shit. It's a good show. I think it's like 6 episodes. I'm like halfway through. Probably finish that shit tonight. But this is good. Check
That's
it out.
what's up. I'll probably watch it eventually. I've just been seeing it on Netflix, but
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I haven't been watching much.
That's it.
Me either, man.
Well, next week we will be back. Of course, gonna do a full Super Bowl preview. We also have a big announcement next week, so tune in. And we appreciate you listening. We'll be back. Peace out.
Peace.